And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the No Ceilings 2022 NBA Draft Lottery Live Show. If you are a longtime listener, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome home. I am Tyler Metcalf and joined, as always, by Tyler Rucker. Rucker, how are we doing tonight?
I'm pumped out of my mind. I feel like I just did 15 espresso shots. I feel like Steve Ballmer doing that. Just excited to be here. So I'm pumped that we got Corey and Albert on this bad boy. We're going to have some fun tonight, folks.
Exactly. And Rucker, you and I would have given the fans a great show on our own, but the fans deserve an incredible show, which is why we knew we had to bring on, like you said, fellow No Ceilings members and the hosts of the Draft Act podcast, Corey Tulaba and Albert Gim. Fellas, how are we doing tonight?
Yo. The boys are back in town. We here. We are ready to FS up. You know, I'm going to try to keep it clean and just abbreviate my curses tonight, man. We got it's early now.
It is. Hey guys, look, first off, I'm a little thrown off because usually I'm used to, my co-host Corey starting us off, but thank you for the intro, Metcalf and Rucker. I got the names right this time. But
do you know which one goes with who?
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you? I'm ready to rock, guys. Obviously, I have everything that I need for the night. I have my frozen envelope here. I'm ready to rock. I was looking over the Knicks roster, and I'm like worried about whether or not Ryan Arcidiacono is going to make the team next year. But it's time, boys.
Bulls
Let's
legend
go.
Ryan Arcidiacono.
We're born for this, boys. Let's go.
So this is the probably biggest milestone until the actual draft night, which is very exciting. And we finally get a set order and we can stop relying on the endless amounts of Tankathon Sims. Shout out Tankathon for all you do for us up until today. After today, you are useless. I apologize. But the plan for tonight is to watch this lottery unfold with all of you, give our honest thoughts in the moment, our live reactions. And then once the lottery is concluded, we'll wrap up with some big picture thoughts on winners, losers, et cetera, with how the lottery actually unfolds. And then we're going to dive right into a full first round mock draft. So make sure to stick around for that. But Corey, besides rooting for a specific team or anything tonight, what are you looking most forward to?
The chaos of it all. I mean, I think the most fun lottery nights are when the top four teams are not the top four teams, come an hour from now and the results are finished. I want to see, some random weird team. You know what? I'm a New Yorker. I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm a New Yorker. I know Albert is. Shout out CP from Knicks Fan TV. He came on the show this week. So I'm rooting for the Knicks to win the lottery. It's been, God, I forgot how many years it's been, but they haven't moved up in like 20 something years. Tonight's the night, fellas. I feel like the New York, Knicks are going to have some luck, man.
Albert, you're the resident Knicks fan here. How are we feeling tonight?
Look, I'm ready, boys. I know what's going to happen tonight. I know the Knicks end up with the first pick. I'm ready for all the Porzingis, Chet Holmgren comparisons. I'm ready for it all. I have my replica 1973 Knicks championship ring on, because I know what to do. I'm in a really good mental place right now. But all jokes aside, guys, I'm just excited to see what happens. If the Knicks don't get the first pick, I would also like for the Lakers to just, end up with the first or second pick and just watch the Laker fans cry because they're not going to get that pick, and it'll be hilarious for us. So we're either going to get Knicks for clicks or we're going to get like some sort of Lakers misery is what I think is going to happen tonight. So we're in the content creating business, boys. That's a dream for us. So we're in a good place.
Well, I'm glad that take felt incredibly unbiased and no personal emotion behind that whatsoever. But just for reference, the Knicks only have a 2% chance at first, but you're telling me there's a chance. Rucker, Corey's rooting for chaos. What does chaos tonight look like for you?
I mean, I'd be lying. If the Knicks got up there, I think our stream might go viral because we all might fall out of our chairs, Albert included. I feel like if they each pick that goes by, I feel like Albert chain is going to get a little bit longer. So it'd be pretty great. I'm excited. I think if the Kings got up there, we would probably all lose our cool. Trying to think of some other fun stuff. I'm like Albert. I really do want to see if the Pelicans somehow got up there. I think the internet might explode with Laker fans just absolutely furious. So I'm excited, boys. I think it's going to be nuts. I just want some movement. I don't want the boring, like, same old order we've been looking at for months. Let's get weird. Let's get some anarchy.
And so the current top 4 leaders are the Houston Rockets at 1, Orlando Magic at 2, Detroit Pistons at 3, and the Oklahoma City Thunder at 4. Out of those 4 teams, Albert, which one of those do you think just needs to win the lottery the most?
I think I wrote about it in our 5 for 5 article, but for me, it's a Thunder, man. I really want to see the Thunder get this pick. I just, as I mentioned, like, I feel like with SGA and Giddey, and all the years of losing they've gone through, well, I should chill out like the last 2 years.
Yeah, let's calm down over there.
Yeah, I
Knicks
should.
fan. Come on,
especially
easy,
as a Knicks fan,
easy.
right? I had one good year last year, and I think I'm on top of the world, right? But of course, the Thunder, I think it'd be fun if they got Chet. How fun is that? Huh? We get SGA and Giddey and Chet, and it'll be a lot of fun. Or if they go with Jabari, that works too, or Paolo. So I think OKC. I said it this morning. I said it to the Thunder pod that we worked with recently. Shouts to you guys. But if they got that first pick, we're talking about some business here, and then we can finally get to the latter stages of that rebuild. So that's fun. So I'm going to go with the Thunder.
Rucker, where are you at?
I said Orlando in my morning piece. I really do think it would be awesome to see the Magic get the number 1 pick, especially now with Corey rocking the Penny Hardaway throwback. But
greatest jerseys of all time,
easily.
BT Dubs.
I kind of, I've been thinking about it all day, though. I think Albert is spot on with the Thunder is probably another choice. I just want them to get away from the 4th pick because it's been giving me a migraine for the last 3 weeks. So if they don't, they stay put there. Me and Corey will probably have some words on it, or maybe we will regardless. But I guess, Orlando or OKC. I think one of them got to get up there.
And that 4th pick is kind of has seemed to be the big wild card, as there has kind of been this consensus top 3 of Chet Holmgren, Paolo Banchero, and Jabari Smith Jr. all season for most people. But as as every draft has, there are wild cards, and this is a question, Rucker, you and I have gone back and forth on a bit. But Corey, I'm curious on your thoughts. Do you think there's anyone who could leap up into that top 3 and kind of break up what that consensus is? And who do you think it would be?
Well, I think that Ivy certainly could leap into the top 3. And I honestly think that Shaedon Sharpe has a chance to leap into the top 3 himself. I mean, he put on a show if you watch the Gaboni workout clip. But what you see there is like the way he moves. It's effortless. His shooting is effortless. His balance is effortless. It's just like, it's one of those things where I see the success of Jalen Green. I see the success of Anthony Edwards. And I'm not necessarily saying that he's as talented as those guys, but I think that, he's definitely at least a notch below. And I know that there's danger in saying that because we watch Peyton Watson, we watch Jaden Hardy come into the year and disappoint. And what you're getting, you're really just rolling the dice with Sharpe. But I really think that if you're patient, so you're not disappointed in how slow he'll start, like Jalen Green and Anthony Edwards did to start their rookie years. If you're just patient, I think he's going to reward you because he's a type of player that I think that you need in the playoffs. I think you need a couple of things. You need versatile, switchy guys that aren't going to get played off the floor defensively, and you need guys that are going to get buckets. And to me, that pull-up game, it's just tailor-made playoff stuff. So I think he's got a real shot to hop in. So
it sounds like it might just take some time. Albert, you're nodding along during that that entire speech by Corey. So do you think Sharpe is that guy to jump in, or do you lean more towards Ivy? And if one of those two are jumping in, which one of these, quote unquote consensus top 3 has fallen out?
Look, guys, I think first off, for the 3 of us, other than Corey, I'm pretty shocked that he didn't throw Ryan Rollins in there. I thought Ryan Rollins was going to be in there somewhere.
Stand up.
No disrespect to Ryan Rollins. He's having himself a month. But No, I get it, man. I mean, we're at the time of the year where these prospects, as Rucker loves to say, as these prospects go against chairs, they start to look real good.
Workout
They
season.
start dominating. Exactly. They start killing these chairs and these phantom defenders, and it looks fantastic. So I get it. And Sharp did look pretty damn good in that workout, in that video that Gavoni posted. Didn't see the whole workout, but I mean, do we need to see the whole workout? Right? That's how the world goes nowadays, right? But guys, I seriously though, I like Sharp a lot. You talk about a guy who's going to be able to go get a bucket, who's going to be a freak athlete. The handle's there, the shot creation, the shot making is there. Obviously, all these statements that we're making are pretty much based off of what we saw from like really scratchy film. But we'll see. I think it could happen. In terms of who could fall out, I would probably say Paolo, right? It feels like a lock. Maybe this is just me, but it feels like it's a lock for Chet to go number one, and Jabari's going to have a ton of fans. Paolo could have fans too, but I feel like if I had to pick out of those three, it'd probably be Paolo dropping out of the top three. It's probably what I go with.
Well, the whole point of winning the lottery is obviously winning the number one pick. So, Rucker, if you were a front office exec and you did win the lottery, who at number one are you just leaping out of your chair, just over the moon excited to take?
I feel like if I was, there, I might just hold up a pre-made Chet Holmgren jersey, like right after I got told it was the first pick. I understand it's going to be a debate. We all like these guys. We're rooting for everyone, but I've had Chet at number one all year. I think he's the top prospect. I think there's definitely Chet at the top, and then there's the next tier. So I think regardless of what team ends up there, he's going to be the best fit. He just has too many fascinating tools, the defense awareness, the basketball IQ, just how he impacts the game on both sides without really recording a stat at times. Chet's going to be special. And I think a lot of people are fascinating, like, oh, is he going to score 20 plus points per game? And it's like, Chet might not ever do that, but he also might be an all-NBA guy. So that's how special he is. So, yeah, I'd be taking Chet first.
So you mentioned that it drops off for you after Chet. In terms of just overall top tier talent in this draft, is it just Chet and then it's a huge gap? Or do you see that massive gap coming a few spots later?
I'm a little optimistic. It was fun looking at that no ceilings piece with all your guys' like answers. I think there's like 4 or 5. I think Sharp could be in that conversation when it comes to just his upside, that he might be that next drop off. But, I know some guys thought like, okay, it drops off after Chet. I could see that argument. I still think there's going to be some really, really good basketball players in the top 10. And I think 4 or 5 is where you're getting to maybe not the high star swinging upside, but you're going to get to really, really dang good basketball players like Johnny Davis, AJ Griffin, guys like that. So I think 4 or 5 for me. What about you, Metcalf? We're not letting you just ask the questions all night. We're going to fire right back at you.
Well, I got away with 13 minutes of it. For that answer, I did say that after Chet, I think it's a pretty steep drop off. And now between 2 and 3, or 2 and 3, and then that gap to 4, I think there's another substantial drop off. But the real prize in this draft, I think, is Chet. Yeah, and you laid out earlier that he has all the tools to be this really just all around special player without averaging 20 plus a game. And that's a really rare ability that we don't always get. So in the like last year's draft, I would have been thrilled coming away with any of Cunningham, Jalen Green, or Mobley. And this year it's like, okay, if I'm not getting Chet, I'm not, I'm still happy with Paolo, Jabari, Johnny Davis, Jaden Ivey, Shaedon Sharp, but I'm not necessarily over the
had
moon
to
about
sneak
it.
the Johnny Davis in there already.
I was just gonna say,
we couldn't even get 20 minutes in.
That was good.
Well, you made me talk, so if you can't expect me to talk too long without bringing up my boy Johnny Davis. But that kind of brings us into, I'm much higher on Johnny Davis than most people, and every draft has, a breakout star after the top 5 picks. So, Corey, in this draft, who do you think that could be?
After the top 5 picks, man, that's tough because I feel like there are a lot. If I'm going to go like just straight up lottery, I still believe in Jalen Duren. And just from a talent perspective, the youth, the body, And I could see him playing the Bam type role down the line. Albert mentioned it before. I think Ryan Rollins, if he goes to the right situation with the right opportunity down the line, could be a guy that we look back on. And you know what? I really like Rutgers guy. I think Jalen Williams is a legitimate lottery talent. I don't think he's going in the lottery at all, but I think that he's a guy that could be a real steal in the draft too. And then, Patrick Baldwin Jr. is a guy I'm still high on. I think that he's going to look better in the NBA. I think you look at Zaire Williams and you think about guys who are put in the perfect spot. If he goes to the right spot where he could be a role player, catch and shoot, making the extra pass, I think he's a guy that could really have a big impact. So I think this draft is there's a bunch of guys who have the potential to really break out a few years down the line.
So you brought up Duren. I kind of want to go back to him because as the draft has been building up, it feels like he's kind of become the forgotten guy. And, he got off to a rough start. That Memphis situation wasn't ideal. They didn't have a point guard, no one to really feed him the ball. But as the season kind of wound down that last month or two, he really started to turn things on and figure things out. And I'm guilty of it too, but it feels like it gets forgotten that he should be going into his freshman year this fall. So you've been high on Duren all year. How high is high for you, and what do you just really like about his game?
Well, I forgot exactly where I have him. I think I have him just inside the top 10. So it's not like I have him, sneaking into the top 3 necessarily, but I've been high on him just because, IQ, I think all that stuff is important, but I also think that sometimes, you do have to bet on athletic tools, because sometimes if you have athletic tools, that outlier stuff is stuff that can't be taught. And when you get to the NBA level, that's important. And, Nathan and I saw him in Brooklyn, and to be honest, we both kind of walked away a little bit unimpressed because it was early in the year when his motor wasn't running hot all the time. But I think that he figured out the motor stuff as the season went on. And when he's playing hard, and I think he was consistently doing that as Memphis actually found themselves a little bit, you saw the impact that he could have. I mean, I think that sometimes we look at a kid like Duren and we look at him, he's so physically developed that it's hard for us to envision him getting even more physically developed down the line. But think about what he's going to look like at 24, 25 years old in an NBA weight training program with nutrition, how strong he really is going to be. Maybe they try to make him a little bit more agile, and he's shown that he does already have the ability to move his feet. So I think he's going to be like a physical specimen in the league. And the passing was intriguing. He had these really sweet passing flashes, and I like guys where the offense doesn't have to be complicated. It's what I like about Mark Williams. And I think that Duren fits in a little bit to that, but I think he's got a little bit of plus. So I just really believe in his talent. And then I think he could be like a Bam type guy if things break the right way and he makes it to the right team with the right path. So he's just really intriguing to me like that, because it was easy to see, I think, the internet at large kind of turn on him. Because that's what happens with bigs. We don't value bigs anymore. And if you watch the playoffs, maybe we shouldn't, because it's all about the wings. But at the end of the day, I'm going to take the guy who I think is going to be able to play in the playoffs down the line as a contributor over just another wing, because I'm told I have to take the wing.
Well, and when it comes to wings, there's generally an overabundance of value placed on them for the reasons you just laid out. And my co-host on the NBA Deep Dives podcast, Nick Agar-Johnson, recently laid out a scenario to me where if the Kings stay at 7 or drop to 8 and Shaedon Sharpe and Benedict Mathurin are both on the board, which direction do you go? And it really puzzled me because, I think it's going to be, I think Mathurin is more of the win now guy and Sharpe is the more long-term upside guy. But Rucker, if you were a team like the Kings facing a scenario like that, which direction would you go?
Give me the choices again, Metcalf, because I have to admit something. I have the lottery on in the background, and the graphic guy for ESPN is having a field day. Albert, are you watching it?
Yeah, I'm watching.
He's on fire. He had an OKC 8 ball getting shook. picking up a claw, and then he
what
just
kind
had
of
the
8-ball
Houston-
are we talking about?
No, not that one. Not the Dennis Rodman one. He has, and then he had the Houston Rockets, like a rocket ready to go off. It had Chris Paul and James Harden walking across in NASA.
Westbrook.
So he's on fire. Okay, Metcalf, hit me with the question one more time. I'm sorry.
You're at 7 or 8. You're the Kings. Shaden
Yes.
Sharp or Benedict Mathurin?
I probably would go Sharp, although I really, really like Mathurin because I just think if you're the Kings, you're probably still swinging for, potential stardom, and Sharp's going to be too intriguing to pass up there. If he clicks and all of a sudden you have Sabonis, a superstar, and Shaden Sharp, and then Davion Mitchell, who Corey is, still foaming at the mouth about, that's a nice core. And we haven't even mentioned De'Aaron Fox. So I would think Sharp would probably be the swing. It's nothing against Mathurin. I think he's a gifted potential two-way player. I just think Sharp is a higher ceiling guy, and that would be too intriguing to pass up on. Sorry, Metcalf. I'm sorry. I'm just
no. I'm glad you're really invested in what we're doing here.
No, I am. I was just like, I'm jealous.
Well, Metcalf, if you want me to set you off even more, ESPN's listing Mike Schmidt's,
Johnny Davis
available.
at 10.
Johnny Davis at 10. So just simmer on that real quick.
It's fine. Everyone's wrong once. Once in a while. So
wait, Metcalf, can I do this really quickly? I want to ask you guys how do we feel about Kendrick Perkins sitting here at that desk? Like, how do you think Jay Billis feels about having to break down these prospects next to Kendrick Perkins, who's probably hasn't watched any of these guys this season? I'm sure he's going to fumble over names, but also have no idea what he's talking about. How do we feel about this desk right now, guys?
I just need him to say Moses Moody once, and then it's going to be worth the entire process. So Perk's good. Perk's some good comedic relief, but Jay's going to have his hands full,
So they're showing Mike Schmidt's top 5 right now. It's Chet, Jabari, Paolo, Ivy at 5. Rucker, do you want to guess who's at 4?
No, I don't need to guess because Mike knows his stuff. I get it. Hello, Keegan.
So Keegan Murray at 4. Which how dare someone have a 22-year-old or 20? I don't even know how old he is, but a grandpa in his top 5.
Modi Muzi.
Rucker. Please describe why Keegan is a worthy top 4 pick.
I think it's just everyone fascinating with the age wants to hate on Keegan Murray, but you're looking at a guy that high intangibles, can space the floor from NBA range, can put it on the ground, attack the basket, finish around the basket. He has two-way versatility. Just a smart player that really knows how to get it done on both sides. I think he's just going to be an absolute steal wherever he ends up. I think he's going to go earlier than people are expecting. I just think some NBA front office is going to be buying into the idea of Keegan Murray being a 10-year plus player at the NBA level at a high caliber. Like this is Al Horford. We're watching him in the playoffs. Keegan Murray has that type of vibe to his game. He's just a smart player that's going to be able to impact on both sides of the ball. So Albert, I'm so sick of it. I hope the Knicks get 14 somehow. I hope they drop back.
No, dude. Are we not going to talk about David Robinson pulling up in a 4-button suit? What's happening? What is this?
The Admiral. He's a legend. Chet's also towering. Chet's also towering over David Robinson.
Hey, wait. Did prospects always dress up like this to the lottery?
No, Corey just pointed out Chet looks 3 inches taller than David Robinson.
It could be the shoes. It could be the shoes. They're in dress shoes.
He's got platforms on? There's
I don't know.
I don't remember
the Admiral 7-1?
Did they always dress up this hard for the lottery though? I don't remember.
The Admiral. He went to the Navy.
Well, no, not the Admiral. I hate his 4-button suit. I can't stand it. But the other guys, what's going on?
I love when you Wikipedia an NBA player and then find out their middle name. It's one of my favorite parts about Wikipedia. David Maurice Robinson.
Mo.
Demo Rob.
Demo Robinson.
Why does Chet keep standing next to a bunch of people throughout the pre-draft process and he looks taller than he is? I feel like he was next to Taco Fall and the angle made it look like Chet was like 7'6", and I was like, "What's going on, guy?"
Hey guys, can we pivot? Can we pivot really quickly?
Of course.
I'm not the host here, but I want to give our host a shot because Metcalf, you mentioned Johnny Davis before, and we see it here in Schmitz's top 10. We're seeing it all over the place, but he's fallen off a little bit. And I wrote in our collective piece that I've joined the Church of Davis, and I'm at this point, I'm a deacon. You're the pastor. I wanted to give you a shot on our live stream. We got people on here right now. Sell us Johnny Davis a little bit and why you think he's the best guard in this class, because I think I'm there with you, man. Like, I think that Davis is an unbelievable prospect, but if you can give us your insight, because you've been in on him since day one.
I mean, he's played and succeeded at every role he's ever been asked to do. His freshman year, he was a bench role player and was really effective at that. This year, he took on a 35 usage and was one of the most dominant scorers in the country until he got hurt. And that ankle injury down the stretch, I think, really impacted his game and limited what he could do on both ends of the floor. And everyone who cries about his shot selection and his usage and all of that, it's like, okay, well, do you think he's going to play on an NBA team with worse spacing than that Badger team? Because that would be hard to do. I also don't think he's going to be asked to have a 35 usage rate, which then opens up his scoring and his passing. And for everyone about to come at me about his assist numbers, to get an assist, the other guy has to make a shot. So, it's a two-way street. So don't come at me with, his assist to turnover ratio sucked. You can't get a gosh darn assist. Watching my mouth.
Let it out, Metcalf.
If the other guy doesn't make a shot.
in America.
So,
oh God.
And then on top, so I think his craft at the rim is really good. He's got great touch with both hands, good on floaters. And then his mid-range game, it is what it is. It's brilliant all year. Yes, the shot selection isn't ideal, but he had to have that type of offensive game for that team to win games. You take that team, or you take Davis off that team, they're barely making the Big Ten tournament. They were that bad. And then he might be the best perimeter defender in this draft. And yes, I've seen a lot of Dyson Daniels. I would probably still have Daniels ahead of him, just given the size disparity there. But Davis's screen navigation, his work rate, his effort, his strength, it puts him right up there.
Can I spotlight the Church of Davis real quick?
Yeah, can we focus on that, because there's something there. Corey, go with it, but we're really building something there.
Yeah, I'm gonna spotlight this for a second. Are you at all worried about context for Davis and where he lands? Because he's one of the guys, the scalability issue for me, because I love Johnny Davis's game, and if he goes to the right spot, I think he could blow up. But I can't say I'm not a little bit worried about the potential fit with him if he goes to play with Bradley Beal in Washington, or if he goes to Sacramento and they already have a small backcourt, and to me, his height, and I know he plays above his height. He averaged 8 rebounds a game. But I do think, not even with him necessarily, it just makes lineups a little bit harder to work in a long-term winning setting. So that's what I'm a little nervous about. I'm a little nervous about, is there going to be enough playmaking if it's him and Bradley Beal? Is he going to have to, go play small forward in that situation, or is he going to play point guard? And I know you talked about the playmaking, and I think that you're right on the money with that, because, even go back to his Purdue game where everyone's going to watch his scoring. He made a couple of plays at the end of the game, like left-handed live dribble, cross court, weak side corner hit. That was ridiculous. So I think there's something there, but he's not a point guard. He's not a primary playmaker. No. So I just worry about the scalability of him. Does that concern you at all?
Anyone landing in Sacramento or Washington worries me. Sorry,
except for off night. I'm not worried at all.
We really are bullying Kings Nation, and I'm just not going to stand for it. Let's have a little faith, Come on, boys. I get it, but let's have a little faith. I have to see it.
I have to see it to believe it. So I get those concerns, but the fact that he's played a myriad of roles at a bunch of different levels and succeeded every single time, really dampens those concerns for me. He was just a bench guy. His freshman year was a good bench player. FIBA, he took on a bigger role, but wasn't the guy, was really positive and really just contributing consistently. And then this year, I mean, we all saw what he did. So I'm sorry for dissing the Wizards like that. I hope you guys
we
turn
don't
it
need
around.
to.
I'm
Come
sorry.
on, they got
It's
some
reactionary. I'm still scarred about what they've done.
I'm
how
still
they
a
treated
Wizards
my sweet Chris
believer.
Penny. So,
Hey guys. Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
no,
Mike. I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
No, I think that was a great answer. I'm definitely with you. I just want to say, can we tell the Duke Blue Devils to settle down? They sent their whole starting 5 to the lottery. Like, I love Trevor Keels as much as everyone, but come on, buddy. Like,
Well, he did get
really have to
benched.
be there?
You know, so
Leave
you're talking
Keels
about not
out
their
of
whole starting
this.
5. He did get benched, Albert.
They're all sitting together too. It's hilarious. Oh my god.
That's the brotherhood. You don't get it.
Lillard was getting interviewed on stage, and I've never been more convinced he was about to start freestyling. He had that look in his eye. I'm serious.
He looked good though.
He did look good, but he was also like rocking back and forth. And I swear, I was like, is he about to drop some bars? Like, what's going on right now? Anderson,
I just
Varejao.
I want to shout out everybody in the chat
Yes.
right now.
Yeah,
Bless you,
thank
man.
you guys for
Watching,
joining us. This is
participating. Thank you
awesome.
for being here.
Yeah.
This is a fun night for everybody involved. Well, not everybody involved. There's gonna be a lot of teams that it's not exciting for at all, actually. But it's gonna be really exciting for some people.
Metcalf,
Shouts
did you see? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, really quickly. Shouts to all my friends who are watching along too. Shouts to my wife who's in Korea watching with us. Because she's on
Shout
vacation.
out Albert's wife. Thank
I
you.
know, what a legend, right? But
Let's
yeah,
go.
shouts to you guys.
Serious foreign relations. I love that. Metcalf, did you see the Hornets sent PJ Washington after our podcast suggesting they might trade him?
He's like half awake too. You see him?
Can we talk about the representation at the lottery? I feel like if you have to send like your front office executive, I feel like you should automatically be disqualified.
That's a
Like,
good one.
If that's your level of creativity for who's representing your organization, like I don't care that the
Shout out
assistant
Swing
to the
Cash,
general manager
currently on the board.
is, you know, I want to see legends. I want to look up there. Current players are okay, but I feel like that's asking a lot of them. It's their off season. Go let them, do them. I want to see like the throwback legends up there on the podium. That's what's going to bring you the luck, not, the third executive who had to show up because the other guys already booked their vacations. I'm over this.
Speaking of legends, Nick Collison pops up on the screen right away. So that's
what I'm saying. Nick Collison, Kirk Heinrich, Kansas. Bring
the walking
what's
7
going
and 7.
I might be losing it. I might be hallucinating because I'm just too excited, but I'm pretty sure Rip Hamilton was on screen with his mask on the table next to him. And I'm sorry if that's true. I don't think anyone has a chance tonight. I think the Pistons just won the first pick. That is a baller move. Also, it would be amazing if they just had the mascots go 1 year and represent everything.
Guys, it appears Schmitz is getting roasted for his height, even though he's tall. He stood next to
a couple 7-footers out.
Hey,
Mark Tatum is on the board.
West.
Here we go.
That's the World Wide West, baby.
All right. Cleveland at 14. Varejao. Looks like he's going to the bars.
Tatum's got a great voice.
He's got that pink tie's really rocking.
Oh,
Albert,
yeah,
what do you
take
got?
that,
very
Green.
shiny.
All right, so
don't ask me. I'm at
Cleveland
1, baby.
and Charlotte. This should be OKC. OKC. Sorry, boys. That's Mark Williams. Here we go, Albert.
PJ.
Changing the whole night.
Not pleased. Not pleased.
Nick is.
Tell me this. Tatum had the envelope.
Scared me.
Tibbs. All right. This should be Washington.
Don't you?
We're staying put so far. San Antonio at 9. Let's see. This should be San Antonio. Mark Tatum, that tie is really blinding us.
It's very shiny.
Through the top 9, we are still set.
Huh?
Yeah. Oh my
they
gosh.
sent a legend.
Internet might burn if this happens.
At
New
8.
Orleans at 8.
New
Still
Orleans at
staying
8.
put.
Okay.
Come on, give us some movement. Oh gosh, if this isn't Sacramento.
Uh-oh. Somebody check.
Nick
Check
might-
on Nick.
Hey,
It's not Sacramento.
Oh gosh.
Dude, my stream is
The
slow.
Portland Trailblazers at 7. Dame.
Oh.
Sabonis. Looking like he might get replaced right now.
Ugh.
He's nervous.
Hey, are the Kings going to get the
Indiana's
first
at
pick?
6. Indiana's at 6. Nick is Oh my gosh, Nick on Twitter Spaces is going to lose his crap. Detroit at 5.
Wow.
Oh,
Good Lord.
Rip
Poor
Hamilton
Cade.
looks like he's going to be a star in a horror film. That's how angry he just
Poor
looked.
Cade.
He took his mask off. That's why. Wow.
Who do we want with Cade at 5, huh?
Okay, so we got Houston, Orlando, OKC, Sacramento. They just went to all the guys at the lottery. Everyone looks horrified that the Kings are in the top 4.
Okay, so now we know for sure that the Pelicans are giving up their pick to the Lakers. No, the Lakers are giving it to the Pelicans, right?
Yeah, I think it was automatically no matter what.
Yeah. It was
no
that's
matter
why
what.
that's why everyone was secretly rooting for the Pelicans to get the first pick, because they were going to be like, it can't go back to the Lakers.
Oh, I thought it was top 10. Okay.
Yeah, no, the Lakers, they just what a way to end the year. Not have any chance at any reward. You know
Albert,
what I mean?
you know what it was, Albert? I think it was if it was outside of the top 10 and went to Memphis. If
That's
it was
right.
inside of the top 10 and went to New Orleans.
That's right.
Okay, so
Okay.
oh boy, Detroit fans, I want to give you a hug
Yuck.
until they draft Keegan Murray 5th.
So OKC still has a shot to be in the 4th spot for us to have nightmares.
Yeah. So
That's what you're
if this is OKC, me and Corey might actually turn into The Shining. Jack Nicholson.
But Sacramento, they had initially what? They were projected to get the 7th pick.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Sacramento's moved
so
up.
another year, the 7th pick moves up into the top 4.
I did not know this, Corey. Wow, you did some homework.
We have to start aiming for the 7th pick now.
The Bulls were the 7th. They had the 7th best odds the year they moved into the top 4. I'm not sure about last year. What was the top 4 last year? Was it Toronto?
Toronto.
Yeah,
Did
went
Toronto
up
move
4.
up? They moved up, right?
Yeah, Toronto went up a lot because it was a big deal. Because we were all legitly sold on Jalen Suggs going there until Cy did his own thing. Metcalf, how are we feeling? You're quiet. I don't like it.
No, my stream is like 4 seconds behind you guys.
I'm sorry.
So, no, you're good.
We tried to plan this, but you gotta be better. Gotta be better. Johnny Davis would have been on top of it.
Goddamn Comcast.
So what does this mean for Detroit now?
Right. Is it Shaden Sharp, Drayden Ivey?
Shaden Sharp.
Why did we just ignore Keegan Murray? I just said it. I just said it out loud.
He's
Like,
going
people heard
first.
it.
So has
Keegan would be a dream there.
How does he fix their athleticism problem?
He doesn't. He fixes their we just got a damn good basketball player problem. Isaiah Stewart, Keegan Murray, Sadiq.
Oh God.
Come on. Cade. This guy named
This is
Cade.
so fun,
I don't know if
guys.
you've heard
I'm
of him.
having so much fun. Oh my God. Give him Sharp. Come on. Give him Sharp. Bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like Cade and Shaden
Come
Sharp. I feel
on.
like that's
I love
a good,
it.
That's a
a
good
swaggy
spot
combo.
for
Good Lord.
Sharp, because that takes a little bit of the ball handling pressure off of him in a big way. He doesn't have to be a creator. He could just go get buckets. I know that's kind of fun.
Dude, ready?
Little
You can
Jerry
already see it.
Stackhouse Grant Hill. You know?
Corey, I was just about to say, Slam magazine cover. You get the two of those guys in the retro Detroit Pistons jerseys. It's over. Motor City.
They got Killian Hayes, guys.
Who? Is that a baseball player? What's going on here? Shouts to
Killian
KOC.
Hayes. Killian Hayes that's a dope name, I will say. Just
a
from
great
like
name.
a strictly name
Killian.
perspective, sounds like a guy who should be like an all-star.
We still believe. We're not giving up on him. He's got another year before we give a. I'm being
I don't think we
optimistic.
believe he's going to be an all-star.
I'm being optimistic. KOC is being optimistic too.
Somebody's got to be.
KOC's having himself a month. So
Now, let me present you with something, because there are rumors that Portland is going to try to trade their pick for Jeremy Grant. So let's say they trade Jeremy Grant for the 7th pick to Portland. Does 5 and 7 move you up at all?
No.
Interesting.
Why is Jeremy Grant worth the 7th pick? Did I lose something? Did I not watch a game where he had like 40 and 20 or something?
Maybe it's that it's also you get Jeremy Grant and you keep Dame. Maybe it's one of those type
GM
pressure,
Dame.
front office pressure moves. And the Kings
Kings
fourth
are
pick.
the fourth
Oh
pick.
boy.
OKC, no headache. Rockets 3. Oh, give it to us.
Oh wow.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Give it to
Here
us.
we go.
Either way, I'm pumped. OKC at 2.
You're humped.
Orlando
Oh
Magic.
wow.
Wow. There
Damn,
Wow.
Let's go.
Somebody say Orlando 1. Orlando 1.
Jonathan Isaac, line 2.
He's busy with Tucker Carlson right now.
The joke will not get old.
Did you guys order his book yet, or what's going on?
No, it's on.
I'm gonna
back
get
order.
it autographed
Pre-order?
on the Reawaken Orlando tour.
Hey, good for Magic fans. OKC, you got to be pumped up. You're up to 2. I'm trying to regroup right
too
now.
much, guys. I'm dying.
Orlando. I mean, hey, they're gonna get that guy from the Shaq and Penny documentary. He's gonna be running laps again. Bring him back. Get those high shorts. Let's party.
Bring in Scott Skiles. We could get some
bring
of
him
those
in.
eight balls you were talking about earlier.
Oh, God.
Magic 8 balls. Magic 8 balls.
Oh,
If you saw the graphic, you'd be laughing as hard as me and Albert were. Okay, so we got Magic at 1, Thunder at 2, Rockets at 3, Kings at 4, Pistons at 5, Pacers at 6, Portland at 7, New Orleans at 8, Spurs 9, Wizards 10, Knicks 11, Thunder, Hornets, Cavs. Everybody good? How are we
Did you
feeling?
write that down
Exciting.
No, I
Put
tried
on
to
all-
just read it off the screen really quick.
so we could all memorize it. That was a good strategy.
Metcalf, did you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Metcalf's on it, guys. What are you talking about? This is my co-host here, okay?
Okay.
Metcalf
Yeah.
is a professional. Come on.
Someone's got to be here. There's the link again. God, you ingrates.
So we're doing mock
so this
drafts
is
soon.
huge.
Go ahead.
So this is huge for the Magic. They're obviously the big winner.
Yeah.
Is it Chet? Just sign it, seal it now. Is it
Hell yeah.
game over, or do you think someone could jump that spot?
I don't think it's sign it, seal it. I think it should be sign it,
Yeah.
seal it, but I don't
Yeah.
think it is. I think that even if you look at the top 60 rankings I did for no ceilings last week, based on everyone's stock price, Jabari overtook Chet at 1. So all the outlets averaging them all together, Jabari's the number 1 guy, Chet's the number 2 guy. Now, I'm not going to name names, but there is somebody from an old school sports magazine that has to do with drawings that kind of weighed the average down a little bit. But I do think that all it takes is one team to be like, who would be really awesome knocking down open threes with all of our bad spacing? Jabari Smith. Or who would have a lot of star power? This Paolo Banchero kid. I think if somebody's looking at Paolo as like a jumbo wing, which is what we're seeing have success in the playoffs, they could talk themselves into that archetype being worthy of the number 1 pick. So while I think that Orlando should fulfill their classic tradition of Shaq and Dwight and go big with Chet, I think that it's not a done deal by any stretch of the imagination.
But he's skinny. Aren't you worried about that?
You're right.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that.
Moving on. So Rucker, just if we're talking about just pure fit, not necessarily talent, who we think is best available, is Chet still the number 1 guy to the Magic for you?
Yeah, I think John Hammond's still there. He was with the Bucks when they took Giannis. They like length there, and I just think Chet is what they need. They need that anchor in the middle. I know Wendell Carter had a great year. I don't think that's enough to move away from drafting Chet. I'm like Corey, Paulo could be intriguing there. You could be fascinated with the offensive upside because they need a guy to just feed also. Like as easy as it is to take Chet because we might all see him as the number 1 prospect, they need someone to give the ball to just be like, go get us buckets. And Paulo's going to be that intriguing option. I think Jabari would be a little rich for my taste just because I think he's still got plenty of levels to go when it comes to developing like the rest of his game. But I would be going with Chet. I don't see how you can pass that up. You're also getting Chet and Jalen Suggs. Everyone's going to play that storyline. They played high school basketball together in Minnesota. So,
Friendship.
Friendship. There you go. Chemistry, building it up. So, yeah, I would go with Chet. What about you guys? Would you think another direction? Metcalf since
No.
It's day one, Chet. I would be submitting the pick right now unless someone wanted to offer me some stupid trade. But the other big winner here, I think, is the Thunder moving out up and out of that 4th spot. Albert, let's assume Chet is gone. Since we're all Chet fans here, who do you think they should or would go with?
So here's the thing. I was just thinking this. Like, I feel like Orlando, if they passed on Chet, then OKC's sitting pretty and they could just grab him at 2. But in this exercise where you're saying that Chet's going to go number 1, I was thinking about this. But there's a very real world where Shaedon Sharpe ends up in that conversation for number 1. As he continues to kill it in empty gyms and stuff starts to come out and people fall in love with him, I'm not saying I want that to happen, nor would I even predict it. But what if there's some weird, bizarro world where suddenly Shaedon Sharpe is in the conversation for number 1, and that could get kind of wild too. But I think Sharpe could be a good option there at number 2 for the Thunder. I think that's a really interesting fit. Obviously, with SGA, he has the ball in his hands a lot, and same for Giddey. But still, I think with his athleticism and his shot making, I think it could be an option. Would I go with that? Probably not. Actually, I'm not sure. But I still feel like there's a very real world where Sharpe is in the discussion for number 1 and Chet falls to number 2 and OKC gets him.
Corey, where are you at with the Thunder's draft route?
Man, so obviously that situation that Albert just described is, the ultimate dream, but I think they got to go Paulo, and I have reservations about him. I watched him live a couple of times, and when he wants to be, I think he could be the best player in the draft, but that mentality of him always wanting to be is certainly something that I question. But the skills are there. He's got guard skills at 6'10", 250. I don't think the shot is as broken as some people are probably going to say that it is. When he wants to, I think he could defend in a multitude of ways. I think he's quick and agile on his feet. And I think that he just fits the roster really well. Like, I think that he's a guy that there's no overlap in any of the skills that the smaller guards bring. I think that Paulo is a clean fit there. And maybe Oklahoma City is a place where he can go to actually focus on basketball a little bit and not be in some super big market and kind of not go the Ben Simmons route, which is, I think, a route for him as far as like not taking basketball as seriously as you want. I think Oklahoma City, a small market like that, maybe that's a good spot for him to land to just work on his game consistently and just grow as a player and as a person.
Then obviously, besides the top 3, the other big winner tonight is the Sacramento Kings jumping to the 4th pick. Albert, what does this mean for them? And just what are the different routes that you would like to see them pursue?
Well, first off, guys, we might have to jump into the Twitter spaces and listen to Nick just go wild right now. I can't wait to hear his reaction, dude, honestly. But I don't know. I think they have a lot of options there. I feel like it depends on how things fall. But so far, okay, we just went Chet 1, Paolo 2, right? In this, like, whatever. At 3, who would we have going 3 then? Probably Jabari, right? But what if... No, that's weird. What if Jabari falls to 4?
Corey, our OKC, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Albert, but Corey, our OKC piece just turned literally to the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect for us. That works out great.
It works.
Okay, wait. Let me ask you guys. What if Jabari falls to 4? What happens then?
Then I think he's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
They probably run.
That's fun.
They're doing shots in the war room.
Yeah.
Good God. That's pretty fun. Jabari with Sabonis.
I
That's
mean,
pretty fun stuff.
it would be a really easy fit because Jabari is
Yeah.
the type of guy who doesn't need a high usage to get his points, but it's going to be hard for me to see the Rockets passing on Jabari if Jabari is there for them and taking Ivy or Sharp in that spot when they're grooming Jalen Green. I guess they're doing the Kevin Porter Jr. thing. I mean, I can't imagine that lasts that much longer, but they're doing it. And then my guy, Jay Gupp, Josh Christopher showed a little something. So they just have so much going on there. And this will give them an excuse to trade Christian Wood and his bad attitude and form just the best outside-inside combination in Şengün and Jabari Smith. Just the perfect synergy on offense between their front court.
You can't see Ivy going there, though?
Oh, I could. I mean,
I hate that fit, but
Yeah.
easily be the most athletic backcourt in the league from day one.
it would be dynamic. It would be dynamic. I'll say that.
It would be dynamic.
If they take if the big three go 1, 2, 3, let's talk about Sacramento. I know we're gonna do a mock draft, but let's just air this out before we get into the heavy stuff. What do you guys think they do? I know everyone's going to be jumping to say Shaedon Sharpe, and I'm not trying to promote Keegan Murray as much as possible. I promise I don't have a cut with the agent, but
You should work on that.
yeah, I am. I've sent a DM every day. Because that makes a lot of sense with Sabonis and Keegan. I know that might be a little early, but do you go Shaedon Sharpe there? I don't know if Monty McNair is the type of guy that would do that. He's sort of kind of like he's got an analytics background. Since working with the Houston Rockets, he was kind of under Daryl Morey for all those years. I don't know. That's going to be a really interesting development. Do they trade De'Aaron Fox and draft Ivy? I have no idea.
So I kind of actually really like the Keegan fit. And then that gives them a little easier leeway to move Harrison Barnes, get something for him. So bring back an asset while having a guy who I think can, play and produce, almost from day one at a reasonable level. So I don't hate that Keegan Murray fit, even though we give you a bunch of crap for it.
I just said, Mr. Ray, that they should take Keegan Murray. I'm on the same boat as you, man. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I literally just agreed with you.
Yeah, we're right there with you.
Mr. Ray.
AJ
Shouts to Mr. Ray.
AJ at 4 would be a little rich for me.
Yeah, I don't quite get that. But all right, before we move into the mock,
easy,
go.
Corey.
I get
Easy,
it.
Corey.
I get it.
Why do we get it? You're buying more AJ stock than a lot of us. What do you know?
I just think that this is Jalen Brown.
Easy with that comment.
This is Jalen Brown, man. This kid's got off the bounce game, and he flashed it here and there when he had the ball in his hands. When Coach K allowed him to dribble, I can't even express to you what this man was doing in the closing minutes of games as a coach, calling the same play over and over and over. It's like, oh, it didn't work. Maybe next time it will. They haven't figured it out yet. AJ, you just stand in the corner and don't do anything for me, please. Oh, Apollo, can you not do anything for me? Also, just stand at the elbow while my guards dribble the air out of the ball. This kid's got more off the bounce game. He's going to get into the league. I think his athleticism, I think is getting underrated. I think people are making a much bigger deal about the fact that he went from supernova athlete to just like very good athlete. Like if you go and watch some of the dunks he had, like this is a dude who got some pretty good hang time. And again, he was recovering from that injury. I'm not worried about his bounce coming back. The kid's 18. Do you guys remember what it was like to be 18? I was able to fall off like a roof and hop back up. And, like this kid's going to recover.
It's about 50 years ago.
Obviously, the shooting. I don't think he's the best shooter in the class. I'll say that. I think those claims are a little nutty, especially because I think that he is going to shoot it off the bounce more at the next level. But his game was much more tailored for professional basketball than college basketball. And I think that when he gets into the space and gets some, reps on ball, I think he's going to show that like, oh, this is why he was a potential top 3 guy coming into the year. And when you look at a guy who has the potential to show more of his game because we've seen it in the past at other levels. And you look at the fact that he was still productive. It's not like he wasn't able to find himself in a role at Duke last year, in an unfamiliar role. The fact that he is able to be a complimentary player when need be, but I also think he has some on-ball juice. I could see it. I mean, he's 6'6" with like a 7-foot wingspan. He's like 220, jacked and muscular. Like, this is a dude who I think has the chance. And yeah, the defense was bad, but like, so was everybody on Duke's pretty much. And a lot of it had to do with their awful scheme where they were just hounding guys everywhere off the ball in deny, which was the worst. But again, Coach K. So I believe
The Brotherhood is not pleased.
All right,
Corey's
so
secretly the biggest North Carolina fan we've ever met in our lives.
all right, before we move into this first round mock, any other big picture winners, losers, general thoughts with the lottery?
The Knicks didn't move back.
Winners. I put on all this gear for us to stay at 11, so that's fun. Loser, Albert, is what it is. Hey, but okay, real talk though. Honestly, guys, the Knicks being at 11, we're kind of in the sweet spot of this draft. I feel like we're gonna have all the awesome wings just sitting there. Like, what if the Knicks are on the clock at 11 and like Matherin's there, Johnny Davis is there, Dyson Daniels is there? It's gonna be my Christmas. So, big winner here, the Knicks. Losers, Albert. Done. Can I ask you guys a question? Sorry, Rick.
No,
I want to ask you guys a quick one. Please, come on, ready?
All right.
Last year, Barnes went 4th, and people were like, "Oh, whoa!" Not that it was like this ultimate shocker, but still, like, "Oh, okay." Who do you think might jump up in this draft? I mean, we see the order now, right? Who could be the shocker that jumps up? Like, I was thinking, like, what if Matherin goes top 5? What if Duren goes 4 to the Kings? What if the Kings are like, "F it"? We saw what the Cavs did last year. Double post, double big guys. Let's go with Duren. Pair him with Sabonis. Do the whole Miles Turner thing again, but different. You know? Who do you guys think might be the weird guy that might jump up into the top 5 here?
I'd say
Top
Suhan.
5?
Top 5 is a little rich, maybe, but if you're talking about like the Giddey jump, maybe more so than the Scotty Barnes jump, where it's like, I could see Suhan jumping up. I think that teams could fall in love with the frame, the versatility, the youth, and the fact that, again, like, he looks like a guy that could play for the Raptors or the Celtics as a switchy, versatile, wingy guy. So and also tantalizing hair. So I think that he's definitely a guy that I could see kind of making a little bit of a leap.
I think I'm going to have to go with Dyson Daniels. Just that size, the defense, someone buying in on the shooting and the playmaking. Having a alleged 6'8" point guard, there are a lot worse things in the world.
Probably go Daniels. Not into the top 5, but Blake Wesley is going to get somewhere that's just going to make me flip a desk. So other than that, I'd probably say Dyson Daniels. I could see Durant being the wild card. I could definitely see him being one of those names that shocks us where he goes. But, Corey, did you say something?
I did not.
Thank you. Yes.
Hey.
Let's give Ty to the Knicks.
I'll sign off now. Let me just jump off, guys. I'll stop this. You 3 can host this.
Do you guys know it was a fun thing with Ty when I saw him opening night against Duke, when I went into halftime and I met up with somebody and I was like, so Ty Washington can't dribble, right? Because Trevor Keels was just putting him in absolute hell that night. So that's fun.
That's what Keels does to people. So I get it.
God.
Here we go. I'm back.
All right. So I think this is as good of a time as ever to pivot into our mock draft. Our order is going to be Corey, then Albert, then Rucker, then myself, and we'll rinse and repeat. So, Corey, with the first overall pick, the Orlando Magic select who?
Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga University.
Bastard.
Perfect. I think we thoroughly covered him not 5 minutes ago.
Sure.
We all have him the best player in the draft. So if you miss that, rewind about 5 minutes, and there will be plenty more there. Albert, number 2, Oklahoma City. Who you got?
Wait, is this my pick or what I think they're going to take? Sorry.
Your pick.
My pick. Oh.
Are we doing? Did we all agree on that? We're
I
not.
think
We're
we
not.
did.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
That sounds great.
Okay.
So what you
Cool.
think is going to come down the road? Spoiler alert for everyone listening. We'll do a mock that says what do we think they're going to do.
Okay, Albert's pick for the Thunder. I'm going Jabari Smith Jr. out of Auburn.
Expand.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Boring.
Here we go.
So why Jabari for the Thunder?
I like it, man. Like, I feel like all of our concerns with Jabari, he's going to be given the time and the leeway to work those things out playing with SGA and Giddey. I think they're going to ask him to do a lot of pick and pop. I think he's going to space the floor for them. I think defensively he's going to bring energy and length. I think you could, yeah. I think it's the right pick there. As much as like I like Paolo too, but I think I'd rather have Jabari with that team. I think it's more fun. So I went with Jabari.
All right, at number 3, the Houston Rockets. Rucker, who you going with? Are you going to take Paolo or go a different direction?
No, I'm going to take Paolo. I think, looking at this right now, I honestly think this could be the best fit for Paolo. And I know Rockets fans are probably foaming at the mouth hearing that, but if he went there compared to the other two places,
So
I
is
just think,
Paulo Banchero fan club. Shout out.
yeah, Paulo Banchero.
He's pissed. He's pissed he didn't go number 1.
PBFC, shout out. So I think putting him with Jalen Green, Şengün, those pieces that they have, that's some real fun offensive upside. So Banchero at 3, Rockets fans would be pumped up out of their mind.
Do you have any concerns about taking the ball out of Jalen Green's hands, or do you think by adding another plus passer at that position, at a post position, that kind of unlocks even more of Jalen Green's off-ball scoring?
Yeah, I think unlocks more. I think you could put Paulo at the top of the key, have him almost being a playmaker, running sets, Jalen coming off screens, all that fun stuff. It would just be a great, almost like getting just a serious boost, just like supercharging that offense. And it's going to bring some excitement with that young core. They're going to love playing together. And I just think Paulo and Jalen Green together would be a dangerous duo. So that would be a slam dunk for Rockets fans, especially picking 3 if you could still get Paulo.
Really quickly, the Şengün Paolo passing that's fun.
Yes.
That's really fun.
At number 4, the Sacramento Kings, I'm going to go, like we said earlier, Keegan Murray. I think he provides a sense of stability, versatility, consistency, and production that team could use and needs. And I think he's going to be one of these guys. I think they're certainly much bigger home run swings, but that's a team so desperate to make the playoffs. And at this spot with, getting a guy for the long term who's also going to be able to produce at a pretty high level, I think, from day one, I got to go Keegan. Number 5, the Pistons. Corey, who you got?
I'm going to take Jaden Ivey for the Pistons.
Oh.
I'm going to pair Ivy and Cade together. I think that this is one of my favorite Jaden Ivey spots. I think this allows him to both play a little bit with the ball in his hands, but also play off the ball a little bit and do some of the stuff that he showed at Purdue, because I do think he's capable of that as well, and allow Cade to early on take a lot of those on-ball reps and take the pressure off Jaden. I think he might have a little bit smoother of a transition to the league playing alongside a ball handler like Cade.
At number 6, the Indiana Pacers. Albert, you're on the clock, and I will remind you that Keegan Murray is off the board. So just like every other mock, you cannot take him.
My pick here is pretty easy. It's Shaedon Sharpe. You go Halliburton, Duarte, and Sharpe. That's fun. Come on. Easy.
So you've brought up Sharpe's name a lot tonight, and for good reason. What do you see as his ultimate ceiling?
Good God.
That's call him out. Question. I love this. Good.
What did you want me to say? T-Mac? I don't know.
I want you to say the truth.
The truth. Okay, Paul Pierce. No, I don't know, truth. Man. To be honest, like I just think the ceiling's high. That's all I see it as. We haven't done our breakdown yet on our pod, so I haven't really dug deep into like comps, and you guys know I get weird with that. But I think with Sharpe, like I think the biggest thing with him is just the tools are sick. it's like you're starting off. It's like, man, I want to give like a weird analogy, but it's just the raw tools are there. The athleticism is there. So it's easy to get excited about a guy like that. And of course, shot making, fluidity, the handle, all that stuff. So I could easily imagine him on a squad with him, Duarte, and Halliburton, 3 guys who can all handle the ball and create stuff. So that sounds fun to me and sounds like a modern backcourt wing situation.
At number 7, the Portland Trailblazers. Rucker, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with the best guy left on my board. Sorry, Metcalf. I'm going to do Johnny Davis there. I still think, you know, Blazers fans might be a little bummed that they dropped back a spot, but I also think that could be a blessing because that might make the Johnny Davis real estate a little bit more serious. And I just think he'd be a great asset there. Dame would love him. He plays his butt off. He's got that mentality that you would want from a young kid. And it's going to be a bucket getter. I debated. I could see. Can we open up the discussion for debate?
Always, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
I could see. Well, I don't want to like spoil picks if someone's thinking of one. I could see AJ Griffin being a candidate there. I kind of like that idea. Duren, maybe.
I'll say I think the Blazers would be a little bit weary of adding a small
Super
guard
raw?
to pair next to. No, I'm talking about Davis. Like,
So you're saying my pick sucks? No, well,
yeah,
that's cool. Well,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Don't
Right, throw it out.
I can take it. I'm
Taking
I'm
out
a
the
big
trash.
boy. Yeah, thanks. It's great.
The
cry
like
for a couple minutes.
idealized version of Johnny Davis is kind of CJ, and that experiment didn't work. So
I understand that.
and I think they want Simons. I think they want to look a little bit into more versatility there. I think you're onto something more so with like, you know, the AJ Griffin type thoughts. Maybe Duren too. Maybe even there. I mean, Nurkic is a free agent, I'm pretty sure. So like,
Yep, he is.
Duren makes sense. I'm just wondering if that's like Portland's still one of the more fascinating teams in the top 10 for me because I'm like, are you drafting for now or are you drafting for long term? Like, are you drafting for potentially down the road after Dame, or are you drafting to help Dame right this second? Duren might be raw and take some time, but his upside might be higher than anyone when it comes to the Blazers draft board. We don't know, but screw you, Corey. I still like the Johnny Davis.
I'm just trying to, you know.
No, I get it.
Play
I
devil's
get it.
advocate here.
I completely get it because I just think Johnny is still, that's too enticing for that team to pass up. He would just be a great fit for them. But I could see AJ Griffin there. Now I'm just rambling. See, I'm trying to back up Metcalf now. This gets ugly.
But also the biggest.
The pick is in.
Okay, but also really quickly with Davis, the defense. So
Yeah.
I wanna throw
So
that in.
I offensively, I kind of get the CJ comp,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
the
they're in
defense.
completely different stratospheres as defenders.
Well, we all know how well rookies defend in the NBA, so I'm sure Dame will be fine with it.
Well, if Johnny wasn't taken there, I would have taken him at 8 for the Pelicans, but I'm going to go with AJ Griffin. And you know, whatever defensive shortcomings he may have, I think Jose Alvarado and Herb Jones and Trey Murphy will clean those up pretty quickly. And then just that additional wing shooting with him and Ingram, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, all of a sudden becoming an awesome 3-point shooter. I think that just adding to the stockpile of wing depth and wing contributors. So at number 9, San Antonio Spurs. Corey, who you going with? And please don't do it.
Don't do
He's
it.
gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
We do it every time. Don't do it.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to
Yes.
do it, but I am
What?
going to shake things up.
Plot twist.
I'm going to go with Ousmane Dieng here for the
Oh.
San Antonio
Wow.
Lasser just going with the foreign guy.
Spurs. I'm
You're
going to go with Ousmane Dieng.
you're spicy today, Corey.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Dieng, man.
What did you eat before the stream?
A little bit of Taco Bell, and you know,
There it is.
That'll do
It
it.
was
There it
the-
is.
and it was
That
the good
fire.
Taco Bell, you know, like when they get it right, when they
Oh.
really get it right.
There's-
Yeah.
Come
There's
on.
no such thing.
Come
There's
A
on.
little cheesy gordita crunch. You know what I'm saying? Nacho cheese shell, feeling a little
Cheesy gordita crunch.
yeah.
Oh god.
Jang, go for it. Let us know why. Besides
one-
the hype machine.
I don't think San Antonio, I mean, just from a fit perspective, I think he fits. They don't have a ton of like wingy, versatile guys. But I think that Ousmane Dieng's talent is so tantalizing at 6'10", with ridiculous length, off the bounce shot making ability, and he could play off the ball. But to me, I typically don't buy the guys that are just like these raw skill guys. But when I see the flashes of playmaking from him, I'm like, okay, all right, here's something that I can really get my juices, flowing for. He is such a natural playmaker. I think that there's an argument that he could be the best playmaker in the draft, like pick and roll playmaker. Ooh. You could put his highlight reel of passing from this season up against anybody else's in the class, and I could make an argument that his was the best. So I think he's got a little bit of on the ball, primary ability. Kind of middle end. I could see him being like a Nick Batum type. And then, I just think that he needs to go to a place with guys that are going to develop his game. And what better spot to go than San Antonio? And I believe that he's a guy that teams are really going to find themselves tripping over to draft when they get their eyes on him in person. And that's my sell me this pen segment for Ousmane Dieng.
Well done. Very nice.
Love it. And number 10, the Washington Wizards. Albert, who you got?
Well, okay, guys, you look at this Wizards roster, it's like the United Nations. They've got guys from literally all over the globe. So this is an easy one for me. Give me the double Ds. Give me Dyson Daniels here. That should be his nickname.
Double Ds might have been the best joke we've had in the last 3 months. I'm really jealous of it.
But we get Dyson
I made a
Daniels.
Scott Skiles 8-ball joke. That was all back to earlier in the episode.
Also, everything we said about Jonathan Isaac was gold today. But I love.
I'm sorry for all the listeners. I'm sorry. We'll try to be mature.
The train is off the tracks. Shout out to the listeners.
Oh,
shout out.
God.
I blame the 8-ball guy from ESPN.
Oh shit. Okay, here we go.
Gosh.
But I like the fit with Daniels because he's gonna give you the defense, he's gonna give you the playmaking, he's gonna give you good size. They have shooting already with Kispert and KCP, and you're gonna get defense, and Avdia is gonna give you more playmaking stuff. I'm excited to see more of Avdia next year. And then Hachimura, I don't really know what happened with him last year, right? He had some personal stuff going on, or what was it?
He came on at the end of the year, though.
Yeah, no, he did. He was like lights out from 3, right?
I think he had
good for
COVID,
him.
personal. He just had a rough year.
Something weird. I think it was like mental health stuff too. But also they got Gafford and stuff. So also can't forget the unicorn still on that team. Mr. Porzingis. But yeah, I like the fit. Yeah, come back to. I like the fit though. I think he's going to offer them a lot defensively from day one, playmaking as well. I think the shooting he's going to be given the cushion to develop the shooting over time. So I'm going with double D's here for the Wizards.
All right, at number 11, the New York Knicks. Rucker, who are you going with?
See, this is the territory where I'm excited to talk and break this up with you guys. Because Albert, how do we feel about Mitchell Robinson being a free agent? Because I feel like he's always hurt. So why is everyone convinced that he's going to get re-signed?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Mitchell Robinson fan, so I'm not going to fight you there.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. So
you don't want to lose the asset. You don't want to lose the asset for nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Don't let him walk for free.
But I'm not going to go there. All right. Duren on the board is intriguing, but I'm not going there. I'm going to go with Benedict Mathurin.
Okay.
I'm going to give the Knicks Mathurin. I think his mentality, his outside shooting should pair very well with RJ Barrett. That's one of my favorite fits. And Mathurin's he's a dog. And the Knicks need guys like that are just going to battle the entire game. Mathurin runs off of everything in the world to get buckets. He would just be a grinder. Knicks fans would go crazy for him. So I do think Duren there. I've even thrown Metcalf on a previous No Ceilings pod. Like Mark Williams seems like the scary wild card there, but I'm going Benedict Mathurin for now.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking Mathurin. I would not have enjoyed Duren okay. I don't know. Anyway, let me shut up. I like Mathurin.
Yeah, you watch your mouth. Metcalf, what were you laughing about?
Albert's face when you said Mark Williams and just the eye pop.
Why wouldn't that be a good one? Tim
no, it's not bad.
Like foaming at the mouth for that.
But boys, the Knicks, we need modern wings. So Mathurin is a great choice here. We need more modern wings. So Mathurin, good.
All right. At number 12, I have the Thunder, and I was fully locked into Mark Williams, but now that Jalen Duran has continued to fall.
Ooh, that's a haul.
Whoa.
Pairing one of those two with Jabari Smith, I think, makes that front
That's a
court
heck of a Sam
defense
Presti
incredible.
evening. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I think Williams is more the win now guy. I think he's the more NBA ready from day one guy. But I still don't think the Thunder are super eager to be an awesome team next year. And I think they're looking long-term and big-time swings. So I'm going to go with Jalen Duran.
Woo! That is
It's a great pick.
This is exciting now after we have because now when you're doing the mock, you get to this range now and you're like, whoa, pairing those two together is electric. Oh boy, that would be nasty. Talk about that duo upside if they hit their upside. Oh my goodness.
It's a lot of fun.
great.
Giddy will have some fun with Duran.
Yes, he will. At number 13, the Charlotte Hornets. Corey, who are you going with?
I know where everybody thinks I'm going, but I'm a little surprised knowing this crew that this guy's still on the board. I'm going to take Malachi Branham here.
Oh, you bastard.
He would have been my pick for the Knicks.
That was my pick for the Cavs next.
That was on my board for the Knicks. So
I mean, I got book night stock still, but
yeah, I bought mine cheap.
Branham next to LaMelo seems like such a fun fit offensively because it gives the Thunder another guy that can kind of play with the ball in his hands a little bit and make plays, but he's also like an absolute sniper off the ball. He's a lot of fun. And I think that they need long-term, they need that buckety playoff guy, like last few minutes of the game, who's going to be able to go get a bucket by themselves. Because I'm not sure if that's LaMelo. Like, I know that LaMelo will be able to get his shot. I don't know if he's going to be able to get a bucket in the last few minutes of game. And I think that Branham's got that Middleton-ness to his game at isolations.
I think that's one of my favorite fits for him.
Yeah,
I still think the New York could be a little bit of a wild card that really would excite me if I'm a Knicks fan. Shout out Albert.
I'm also playing chicken. I'm also playing chicken with the Cavs because they got too many wings for me to not get my big man 2 picks later, guys.
Chess. That's called playing chess, but everyone's playing checkers.
All right, at number 14, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Albert, your guy just went off the board. Who are you audibling to?
Easy choice. I'm taking Ochai Agbaji.
Love it, but he's old.
Easy. I love old guys. Give me the old ones. Only old guys on my squad. I'll take it. I think Ochai's a great fit here. I think he's going to give him defense from. Man, he's an adult. You're bringing another adult into the room. Bring an adult on the team. He's going to hit shots. He just won the title. You're bringing winning DNA onto your squad with a really young team. Sign me up. Don't play Karis LeVert. Sign me up. Bring Ochai Agbaji in. Play him from day one in the starting lineup, and they're going to win a lot of games. So I'm taking Ochai.
I mean, if they brought back Sexton, had Garland, had Agbaji, I love just go to war with those three. And then you have that guy, Evan Mobley, behind them.
He's kind of good.
He's kind of good. Jared Allen.
In Sexton's case, you can actually go to war with only 3 guys. We've seen that.
Yes, exactly. So it's come on. That's that mentality. I do really think like that's the dream pick for Cavs fans. I think he's perfect. Yeah. I think it's just exactly what they need. They need that sniper complementary piece, and Agbaji would be awesome there.
It's perfect. Athleticism gives you everything you need. Perfect.
Well, at number 15, the Charlotte Hornets are back on the clock. Rucker, who are you going to pair with Malachi Branham?
Mark Williams.
Okay.
Next.
Easy enough.
Nice.
That's the dream for Hornets fans. I'm not kidding. If you walked away with Branham and Mark Williams, let's party. Also, side note, I love that they're interviewing Terry Stotts. That's all I'm going to say. I'm intrigued with that.
Big Terry Stotts guy.
Big Terry Stotts guy.
All right. So this is really rare, but we're 15 picks in, and my top 15 is all off the board.
Wow.
So at 16, I got the Atlanta Hawks. What?
Show off.
Yeah, who are you?
Guys,
comment
use your own boards. Well, usually I have someone outrageously ranked and like are way off on someone, and it just hasn't happened yet. It'll happen.
That was the biggest humble brag I've ever seen on a draft podcast.
I called
that's
this
just 'cause you
entirely
don't listen back
correct.
to you.
I'm pretty aroused right now. Good job. Eddie.
From 6 to midnight.
So the Hawks, I'm gonna go Jeremy Sohan, however you want to pronounce it.
Can we? What is it? How is it? Is it Sohan?
Bro, it's Socken, all right? Just move on.
Sochan.
That Sakin guy.
That's Socken. Give me Socken.
Okay, well, what is it really? Sohan? Sohan.
I
think it's
I've
Sohan.
heard it's Suhan.
Oh, no,
I-
Suhan. You're right. Sue.
I will give the answer in the chat, or I guess
Soupy-doopy.
I can't do it in the chat, but I have the raw. You keep going, I'll get it. I'll tell you what it is in 2 minutes.
Cool.
Is
Yeah.
it going to be like him pronouncing it? Because that would just be a great. Yeah, there we go. We got that accent.
Suhan.
All right. Well, I think Suhan immediately provides defensive versatility, a bit of passing, a bit of offensive versatility. I don't really buy the shot a ton, but I also didn't buy the shot on Scotty Barnes, and that progressed much quicker than I anticipated. I don't think he's Scotty Barnes, even though he's going to draw a lot of those comps in the coming weeks. But I really like Jeremy's two-way versatility and just overall effectiveness at such a young age. So at number 17, the Houston Rockets. Corey, who are you leaning towards?
All right. I'm going to take Patrick Baldwin Jr. for the Houston Rockets.
There it is. Nice.
There it is.
Nice.
Yeah. You let Patrick Baldwin Jr. just be a nice spot-up shooter, secondary, tertiary ball handler next to Paolo and Jalen Green. Just all the open looks he's going to get, it's going to bring him back to the guy we thought he was coming into the year. I'm betting on the size, the talent, and the fit there.
Love it. At number 18, Chicago Bulls. Albert, who are you going
Don't
with?
fuck this up, Albert.
I'm running up to the podium. Give me EJ Liddell.
Okay. You may live.
Come on. Come on. It's a great pick. Give me my flowers, boys. I think Liddell gives you shot blocking from day one. He was unbelievable last year in college. I love his versatility. I think he's going to shoot it well enough. This Bulls team, they're lacking size. Not that he's like some tower. He's a little undersized, if anything, but I think he's going to give you toughness defensively, the awareness of versatility. I'm down. Give me EJ Liddell.
I love that fit. I think he's exactly what they need. Corey, how do you feel?
I feel excellent about that. I would feel really happy. He's exactly what the Bulls need. Somebody that's on my short list. You know, I think that he's a guy that I can envision playing up and down in the playoffs. So he's ready to go. He fits the kind of more veteran type player, and he's not Blake Wesley. So all around, I'd say that's a win.
That last part was my favorite.
And the most accurate. Rucker at 19, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Please don't give me a brain aneurysm.
No, Metcalf, we've actually talked about this guy going to Minnesota on a No Ceilings pod. I'm gonna go Tari Eason.
Okay.
I kind of like that fit a lot, just because me and you have talked about like it. Eason's puzzling, but I think if he went somewhere where they have like a floor spacing lineup, like if he could play alongside Karl Anthony Towns, I think that makes Eason's ability really pop. Like he could blossom with that additional spacing to drive, attack, and he's going to be fitting in perfectly with Patrick Beverley. Are you kidding me? They might actually kill someone on the court, so that'd be great. Actually, I'm kidding. I don't like murder. Metcalf.
Important clarification.
Yeah. Just
can
kidding.
I pivot here by saying that the pronunciation is Sohan?
So yes, thank you. Okay,
Got
So
it.
we don't have to talk about liabilities.
Metcalf, they don't. Could Jalen Williams be a wild card for Minnesota?
Wow.
Probably
Doesn't
not.
make sense.
I don't think so. I think they have enough guard. I
talking
think they have enough guard depth.
I
No,
don't
I'm
know. I like him in the Beasley spot.
I'm
He's
more
He's
saying
7'2"
long term.
wingspan. 7'2"
I'm saying-
wingspan.
We got to get rid
Beverly-
of D'Angelo.
Yes,
that's another episode.
What they do with D'Lo is going to be really telling.
Yeah.
Finch loves Jordan McLaughlin.
Ooh.
Beasley is. I have no idea what their plan is with him. He was kind of the number one guy who was on the trade block all season. But then he became like the most effective volume shooter in the league in the second half of the year. But I really, really like Jalen Williams. I'm just not sure how he fits.
We'll talk about Jalen Williams when we get to Jalen Williams. All right, Rucker?
Yeah.
Calm down.
No, I was just saying.
Keep it in your pants.
I'm saying, what's the wild card there? Because I do like Tari Eason a lot there, but I was just trying to get a little outside the box. So screw you guys. I'm going home.
Ooh, y'all sleeping on Beauchamp.
Shane, come on. I like Marjan.
I never sleep.
That explains your erratic
sleep
behavior.
Is the cousin of death.
Drink too much coffee to sleep. Who's up?
At number 20, the San Antonio Spurs. I'm going to go Christian Koloko.
Oh!
Whoa!
What the hell?
I hope
Believers.
Chance isn't in the chat still.
F off. What?
I don't get why so many people are just sleeping on Koloko.
Yeah.
I think he should be a lock first round guy. His rim protection was absolutely absurd this year. The at rim opponent's field goal differential was 10 points lower with him on the court than when he was off. 10 percentage points. His awareness, his timing, his defensive discipline is incredible. He's not a switch center or anything, but he moves his feet well enough to kind of bump guys out on drives where he can then use his length to recover. And then he's a really low maintenance rim running offensive center. So I think he could easily be, the future defensive cornerstone for that Spurs team.
I'm sure some people are going to be like, what about Walker Kessler? I don't think it's close, man. I'd much rather have Koloko. So I'm with you there. I'm just a little upset because I was going to take him with the Grizzlies pick. But
well, at 21, the Denver Nuggets. Corey, who you got?
I'm going to take Jalen Williams here.
Good Lord. There it is.
Unbelievable spot up shooter. Can run pick and roll.
Yeah.
Just a
Long,
really good pick.
7'2" wingspan, will be able to defend. I mean, add him to the backcourt. I think that backcourt is a chance to, be special when everyone's healthy.
Absolutely love it. Easy enough. Albert, 22, the Memphis Grizzlies.
God, I'm so upset you took Koloko. What's your problem, dude?
Sorry, I like taking good players.
I was locked in on Koloko. I was like, no way anyone's taking him this early. Okay. Is this okay? I have a question for you guys because you guys actually like him. Please, you guys like him way more than I do, but it feels like Tyus Jones is leaving. Do they need a backup point guard? And if that's true, is it Kennedy Chandler or is this way too high? Talk to me.
I was
That's
thinking a
way too
different
high for
guard.
me.
For me, I agree it's too high, but what if they did it? Would it be crazy?
Albert, search your feelings. You know who you really want to take here.
Yeah, here we go. Let's do it because he's fun and he's exciting and he's really good at basketball. He should be in the top 10. Dalen Terry, give me Dalen Terry. Who put Jaden Hardy? No.
I thought you were giving into Rucker's attempted Jedi mind tricks.
No, yeah. Use the force.
I'm Dalen Terry here. Give me the 6'7" guy who could pass the rock, play defense, and is working on his jumper. He's going to have plenty of time to develop on that team, too. So, Dalen Terry, 22.
That's a Grizzlies for sure.
Rucker, yes.
No, we're not.
I agree.
On Gabriel.
Rucker, you're the resident Arizona guy. Is that a little rich for you with Terry, or do you think he could actually go in that range?
No, I think he could go in that range for sure. I think he's going to have a really strong pre-draft process, especially at the combine this week. 6'7", he's kind of a Swiss Army knife on both sides of the ball. Really gifted vision, just special playmaker. I think teams are going to try to convince him to stay in. And I think if he does and has a strong week, I could see him going in that range because there's a ton of upside. I really do think like Memphis, a team like that, probably in the 20s would just jump on the long-term potential. I hate pre-draft that terminology, but that's literally what Dalen Terry would be. It would be saying, we're drafting this guy. He might be able to help us this year as kind of a rotation asset, but long-term, he's got a ton of upside. So I think that'd be a great pick. I love it by Albert, even though I kind of helped him.
All right. Well, at 23, the Brooklyn Nets. Who you going with?
See what Metcalf did. He asked me about it, so I had to get distracted by my pick.
You've been making bad picks on your own, so
Give him the worst possible player.
Yeah, I'm still damaged by my Corey ripping my Johnny Davis pick apart.
Come on. Great fit, Blake Wesley. Do it.
No, I can't do that.
The Blake Wesley, Cam Thomas practice battles would be incredible.
I would go to every game. Tickets are like $4.
Screw it.
Deals.
No, you know what? I'm gonna go a little wild here. I'm gonna go Marjon Beauchamp. I still love this fit, and I know Beauchamp's. Well, no, I think Beauchamp's been maybe sliding a little bit, and I think it's just because more people are buzzing. But I think the idea of him going to Brooklyn and just contributing off the bench right away as like an energizer piece, kind of like a garbage man, cleans up everything, plays high level defense. I like that fit. I think that would be a good one. I know there's other guys ahead of him that have more upside, but I think Beauchamp would be a nice addition for that Nets organization. They need some guys that will play hard.
Guys, is our mock draft just like totally jacked up right now because Kai Soto hasn't gone yet, or what's the deal?
Gosh, Albert is on fire.
That is Albert.
He's on fire.
He's heating up.
Do we have to restart the mock draft, or what's the deal?
I was considering him at 7, but
I wouldn't have, gone after your pick for Phoenix if you would have done it.
All right, I'm leaving that one where it is. At 24, the Milwaukee Bucks. I think this team proved that they kind of pretty desperately need some shooting. And Milwaukee does love their white guys, even though he's foreign. I'm going Gabriel Procida.
Ooh.
Are we still sleeping on guys now that we've drafted them?
I think we've awoken them. It's the opposite of that.
Well, Metcalf, I've got the last 24 on my big board.
We're waking up on them now.
I hate all of these so much. We've been doing this too long.
Okay, who's up?
Corey, 25, San Antonio.
For San Antonio at 25, a guy I'm hearing that they're taking interest in, a guy who I think fits and is great value here.
We have Buzz.
I'm gonna take Jake LaRavia from Wake Forest.
Oh, what? What is going on? What? This is a great pick. I had him for the Mavs. What?
So tell me what you like about LaRavia.
I love the versatility. He's 6'8". He can dribble, pass, shoot, defend. Defensively, he was switching up and down. He was taking assignments everywhere from Paolo Banchero to switching out onto Isaiah Wong and Caleb Love, and he was able to handle them on an island. Obviously, I don't want him on an island against guards full time, but in a switchable league, I think he works there. I think the shot is pretty pure. I got to see it in person when I watched him work out for 2 days. I mean, the percentages match the eye test. And I just think he's got a really high IQ, and it shows in his steal and block numbers for a guy who I think maybe is sneaky athletic, but isn't, Mr. Bounce out there. I think that he just has a great anticipation on both sides of the ball. He makes, excellent cuts, doesn't need the ball in his hands. He just does all the little things, just winning plays, super high IQ, big LaRavia fan.
All right. Number 26, Dallas Mavericks. Albert, who you got?
Okay. Do you guys want my safe pick or my spicy pick?
I
want who you think is.
Come on. We want who you would pick.
It's no fun. That's not the game.
Maybe it's the same.
Okay. Ready? Let's go spicy. Also, shouts to Shane Trent, who keeps saying we're sleeping. Feel pretty awake. I'm going Peyton Watson, boys. Give me Peyton Watson.
Okay.
That's my spicy pick.
Well, we got to get Luka a shooter, so.
Okay, hear me out. Okay, here are my rationale.
I can't wait Please, by all means. And this
No,
is coming from the
because-
Peyton Watson fan club.
No,
I'd love to hear
ready?
this.
No, let me explain. Because at this point in the draft, all of our like high-end wings who can really shoot the ball, like off the catch and stuff, I feel like they're gone. Like who's left? Was
A
what was my
couple.
rationale? Well, who are you thinking then? Christian Brown? I don't know. But okay, let me explain. So I wanted Watson there because I think Watson is the future of the NBA. And Rucker, you can speak on this too. We saw him play live. The dude with the length, the fluidity, the athleticism, and obviously, okay, he's not a shooter. We had our laugh there, but I think he's going to be a guy who eventually can offer them so much versatility. And I think it's good to add versatile guys around Luka. And so, do I believe in the shot? I think the shot is like a million miles away, but everything else, I'm intrigued. So at 26, I don't think it's bad to take a shot at a guy like Watson.
No, I'm giving you a hard time, but I could definitely see him going in the first round 100%. I actually think he could go the next pick. He could Miami.
Yeah.
That could be exactly the type of project they want because he has the playmaking upside that's freakish. It's special. And he moves around the court just so fluid. He just needs someone to be patient with him. And I think going to a playoff team at the end of the first round, absolutely, it's worth the swing because he still has scary upside, especially as a defender. So I'm just giving you a hard time, Albert, but I do like Peyton Watson a lot.
I would take him earlier.
I would.
I love that dude.
I would. Where would I take him? I think the
Metcalf's
Spurs might take him at 20.
Metcalf's
I would
Metcalf's
take
like,
him
these
at
guys
20
are
for the
drunk.
Spurs.
No, I really like Peyton Watson.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a while until he
Yeah.
can contribute anything on offense. But I also think he has a little more passing than he was allowed to show by Mick, who didn't let him do anything this year. He was lucky
Pretty
to
much
get on the court
nothing.
at all. Yeah. So, I think the season went about as poorly as it could have for him, but I think defensively he's a monster. So at 27, Miami Heat, Rucker, I'm 99% sure who you're taking, but say it for everyone.
You know what? I'm probably going to shock you. I'm going to take Ryan Rollins.
Oh,
Let's
No,
go.
love
I
it.
saw that one coming. Come on.
I was fully locked in on Justin Lewis again.
No, I think the Lowry situation's a little interesting where they might need to draft someone with the idea of developing for when that contract situation kind of gets a little not as messy. I think Keels I think Rollins could be a really good Miami Heat pick here. I think that could be some good value where they're thinking long term of like, let's develop them, let's be patient, and we might have something really special. So I like Rollins going to the Heat a ton. Keels would maybe be another wild card option there, but I still think Rollins would be too intriguing to pass up. Miami loves to hunt guys like that have that long term, high reward, high return on investment, and I think Rollins could be up there.
Corey, you've been driving the Ryan Rollins bandwagon for a bit now. Do you like that fit? What do you like about his game?
I like sending him to the Heat culture. I think that, if you're built for it, like there's almost no better place to develop your game and get the most out of what you're going to be as a player. As a fit, I think, it might be a situation where you got to be patient with him because I think that backcourt right now as is pretty loaded. I mean, they're even getting positive stuff out of a guy like Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Celtics Bulls legend.
Yes.
So, it's a little crowded. And then obviously you got Hero, and we'll see what happens with Victor Oladipo. It's a little crowded, but again, he's such a talented kid. I just love how natural, how fluid. Like one of the things we talked about when I interviewed him is like coming out of Detroit, like he's got that pickup style. Like, he didn't grow up in the gym training. He grew up playing basketball, so there's a natural fluidity to him that is just apparent when you watch him. And I think that he still has so much to learn about the game that, I think that he could really be a kid who either, can get his own in a primary role, but I think that in a starting role, but I think that he's also a guy that could be one of the best 6 men in the league. And I know that Hero is a 6 man of the year candidate. But something tells me it's not what his long-term aspirations are. I think he's eventually going to want to move in that starting lineup. And I think that if you put Rollins in that role, stepping up for him, I think that's not a bad outcome for him.
Perfect. Well, at number 28, Golden State Warriors. This is tough because some of the biggest names on the highest ranked guys left on my board, I don't think really fit a ton. And it feels weird to have some of these guys potentially fall out of the first, but I'm going to kind of add to their wing depth with Christian Brown.
I think that's a good spot for him. I really do think if he fell into the Warriors' lap, that might be just too enticing to pass up. He's everything they need. They got a lot of young guys. They would need that little swagger to come in, and he'll be able to pass the ball to Jordan Poole a lot.
All right, at 29, the Memphis Grizzlies. Corey, who you going with?
All right, so they took Dalen Terry at 22. Now for the Grizzlies, I'm going to take Jaden Hardy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
I think that this fall is. I think this might be a little bit too far for him.
Yeah,
I was really eyeing him with Denver. I think that would have been a great spot for him. But I just think that Jalen Williams offers a full package with like great size. So I'm going to take Hardy from Memphis here at 29. I think that this allows him to continue to be brought along slowly, kind of put himself on the Zaire Williams path. So where he just comes in and plays off of Ja. Maybe he brings a little bit more self-creation than some of the guys that they have in Ja's absence. And, it just allow him to be on a winning team with, that's going to actually instill like the right kind of culture around him. I think that'll be important for a guy like him early on. So I think that would be a fun outcome for him.
Do we see anywhere in the first round? Because I think Hardy's going to be a bit of a wild card like Patrick Baldwin Jr. Do we see anywhere in the first round that like Hardy could be a surprise, like some team's just in love with them? Because I'm looking through the list and I'm like, who could be the team that believes? It's tough to get through.
Could it be Cleveland if they decided to move on from Sexton? Or is that backcourt just brutal defensively?
I think that's the super rich range where I was even like,
Right.
Could Charlotte even be wild and say like they're convinced at it? But I don't know if I believe in that.
The Bucks?
Atlanta. I like Atlanta maybe.
I could see Atlanta maybe. I mean, that's a just nightmare backcourt defensively.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. I wouldn't recommend it. 0 out of 10 would recommend that. But Milwaukee is a nice little one. I like that.
Yep.
Get
especially
rid of,
if it's
Grayson Allen.
Yeah, and especially if Hardy's self-creation, takes another jump, because what we saw in that Celtics series was no one else on the floor could create their own shot. And obviously Middleton being gone really hurt that, but coming off the bench, it was purely off-ball guys. So I did debate Hardy there, and I do like that fit.
Yeah.
All right, well, at number 30, the Thunder. Albert, round out the first round. Who are you going with?
Guys, I just want to mention Ty hasn't gone in our first round, nor has Blake Wesley, which is interesting. I think, I know.
I'll be able to sleep.
Me too. I'm just thinking, like, if we want this video to do well, we probably have to put who do we need to put here? Leonard Miller. I'm gonna pass on that.
JD Davis. Oh, my bad.
Oh, that's a Corey thing.
Petty.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
I want to give them an adult.
I love you targeting. It really is the best part of this whole stream.
This guy's gonna walk in. He's gonna walk into the I said living room, into the locker room. He's gonna grab Poku by the neck and be like, "Hey, man, this is not how we play basketball in these parts." Okay.
I can't wait to hear this pick now. This is the best sales pitch. Hey, this is the best sales pitch of anything. The best sell me this pen you've ever done is he's going to grab Poku and be like, "This is how you play basketball."
It's Wendell Moore. Okay. He's no nonsense. He's going to do a little bit of everything. He's going to grab Poku right by the neck and say, "Hey, man. Okay. I'm coming from the brotherhood. What you're doing is nonsense. Wake up." and they're going to be good. So easy pick.
Any names now that we're done that you're a little surprised? I think Bryce McGowan's probably a little shocker.
Kendall Brown, Kennedy
Brown.
Chandler, Ty,
Nikola Jovic,
Justin Lewis,
Jovic
Walker
for
Kessler,
sure. Walker, Trevor Keels.
So I think the big one is Blake Wesley. And for this crowd, the people doing this, it doesn't surprise me because all of us are much lower on Wesley than where we keep seeing him mocked and everything that gets talked about. So, we keep seeing him mocked at the end of the lottery. So, Albert, I want to start with you. I know you guys just talked about him on the draft deck, but
for sure,
why such a discrepancy in where we keep seeing Wesley ranked and where, we kind of tend to have him?
No, I get it. Like, there are real Wesley fans out there. I don't say any of this to like trash on them or to make a joke of Blake Wesley's game or anything like that. I just think the big question with him is touch. Like, it's shockingly bad. And we're not just talking about the jump shot. Like, you see him around the rim. It's like, what is that? Why? Huh? You start asking real questions, So I get it. Like, defensively, like, he showed some real stuff. The off-ball stuff was fun. On the ball as well, he's really competitive. He fights. I get all of that. It's just offensively, I get it. He can create his own shot. He's athletic. All that stuff. But where's the touch? I'm really confused and baffled and concerned about that. And so that's why I'm much lower on Wesley than maybe others are.
Random someone listening to the stream, I want to give you a shout out. Just tagged us on Twitter and said a previous tweet said Grizzlies will draft Dalen Terry in the first round. So John, thank you for giving us a shout out. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate that.
Let's go. We love you.
Yeah, we love you.
So I think the other big surprise is Kendall Brown, who a lot of people had in the top 10 in the beginning of the year. Rucker, you were, I think, higher on him or the highest on him of the group. Why is he now not even going in our first?
I think this happens. Some guys just slip through the cracks. We're doing this mock draft and Blake Wesley falls out of the first round. Do we think that's going to happen? Probably not. Probably on lottery night, or the draft night, he might go in the lottery and it might give all of us a stroke. But Wesley has talent. Kendall Brown has talent. I still believe in Kendall Brown. I think it might be a blessing if he goes later in the draft, because if he could somehow end up in that 20 to 30 range, go to a playoff team, that's what he needs. I think just the confidence is probably going to be something that NBA teams are going to be looking at, because he has the tools to be really special, like rotation asset. He's probably be one of the best athletes in the draft. If he jumps out of the gym, he's a dangerous transition threat, but he needs time to let the rest of his game develop. He's still a little hesitant when it comes to his outside shot, although the form looks solid. But it's just one of those guys that I think each year teams start getting intrigued with these other players and then they start slipping. It just happens. And I think that might be Kendall Brown this year. I still could see someone believing in his upside.
Corey, I think you were kind of the first of the No Ceilings crew to start dropping him significantly down your board. So what was it that you saw?
It's what I didn't see more than what I saw, to be honest. I mean, he's got the bounce and that's cool, but I think it's weird. He's one of these guys who's kind of he's a pretty fluid athlete, but at the same time I see him being very stiff in a lot of his movements. I don't think he's got crazy length that you want out of your 3-4 swing defender. Again, it's that fire and passion. He doesn't always play with it, and while he has these skills, he doesn't bring them out enough. And what good is it if you don't see them too often? He gives me, and this is a comp, I don't know where I made it, maybe in the group chat, maybe elsewhere. He gives me kind of like Josh Green vibes a little bit, except that Josh Green, I think, is a significantly better defender, to where it's just he's fine, right? I like Josh Green. He'll probably find a role on 4 or 5 teams throughout his career. But he just doesn't do enough that you're like, I need this player on my team. I need to give him 30 minutes a game. You just are going to bet on the fact that he has these fun tools. And I think that Kendall Brown will get a chance with a few different teams just based on like the tools. And eventually he might find a team where he really can put it together. I was really hoping that he did have that fire and we could start making like Matrix Reloaded jokes, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think it's apparent too. One of the things that hurts him is like you see with Sohan, like it's so much more obvious with him to me than it is with Kendall. And I don't know. Yeah, he's just fine. He's fine. Like, do I think a team should take him in the first round? Like, if they feel like it, that's fine. I don't think it's outrageous, but I just think there are other guys worth betting on, and that's my thing. I'd rather take a chance on other guys than a guy like Kendall Brown.
All right. And any other names that fell out that were surprising? First round thoughts, lottery thoughts?
I think
Ty-Ty.
McGowan's.
Yeah.
Ty and McGowan's.
Yeah. Big Blue Nation's not pleased.
I could see McGowan's going much earlier.
And I would also much rather take him over Wesley for what it's worth.
Me too.
Me too.
Big time.
I mean, I could see. I was thinking about McGowan's at 23. I could see him going late teens. I was just one of those names that just slips through.
Wait, guys, let's have a proper conversation on McGowan's because he really intrigues me a lot. For you guys, I don't think we've ever talked about this. What do you guys like about McGowan so much? Because I'm with you. I have him. I really like him. I'd much rather have him than Wesley, if I'm totally honest. But what are some things that you guys? Maybe we could start with Metcalf. What are some things about McGowan's game that really intrigues you?
The pressure he puts on the rim.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the season, his shot selection was one of my least favorite things in college basketball. And then he just kind of changed that, which is really rare for a freshman to do, midway through the season. And he started attacking downhill. And that's when we saw his scoring averages and his free throw attempts and just overall efficiency start skyrocketing and, really climbing up to where a lot of people thought it was going to be at the start of the year. So I know the outside shot didn't fall really. I would buy it long term. I think he's got really good touch. I think he has a frame that's going to add a lot of muscle. Then the fact that he has the mindset to attack contact at the rim and initiate contact and draw those fouls and then finish through contact, I think is really, really encouraging for his long-term scoring game.
I'm with Metcalf. I think he's incredibly smooth with good size. Yes. And although he's thin framed, he has real estate at the free throw line. And
I don't think he looks as skinny in person. Like,
really
nice shoulders. He's
got big, broad shoulders. Like I've never looked at him and been like, oh man, he's skinny and he's frail. Like, and when I saw him in person, like, I don't know,
just lengthy.
To me, he's got the Tatum build.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like college Tatum, like just big, broad shoulders that he's gonna be able to put on like good weight, at least up top. Like,
I thought his legs looked skinny.
His legs are a little skinny, but like at least up top.
Yeah.
But Albert, it's just him off the dribble, like his pump dribble to stop on a dime, like the way he glides through traffic. Just the more I watch, the more I'm like, okay, this is nice. There's real legit offensive weaponry that's just kind of oozing to the surface. So it's one of those guys I keep watching more and more. And every time I watch him, like, I'm buying, I get it. Like,
yeah.
I'm shocked that we didn't have him in the first. Yeah. Could I see it? Maybe, because it just happens every year. Like a guy falls and like, what's going on? But I could see him going, end of lottery to the 20s or like any range. He could just be one of those wild cards.
No one's questioning his talent.
Yeah.
There's no one who's questioning his talent.
And he's going to look incredible in empty gyms.
Yes.
Wait, but Corey, you're kind of like our resident shot doctor. Can you talk to us about his shooting? Because I feel like the jump shot, it looks great, regardless of the numbers. Can you talk to us about his shooting a little bit?
It's a little Tyrese Maxey to me, where I believed in Maxey's. I believed in Maxey's jumper because it looked pretty, and there was just like small tweaks. Like Maxey in college, he just didn't get enough height on his release point. Like it was a little bit like out in front of his face, so he was shooting out instead of up. And I think McGowan's has that out instead of up a little bit to his jumper. But I think it looks smooth coming off his hand. I think it's easy to get into. It's an effortless ball. And again, like a lot of the percentage is because he's taking really tough shots. And that was also a thing that sometimes that Maxey dealt with in college. So I'm a buyer in the shot. I've never been worried about the shot. I know it's like 27, 28% from deep, but he could have shot 22% and I'd have been like, all right, sign me up for the shot long term because it looks fine to me.
Yeah.
It's small tweaks I think that he needs, but it's not the talent with him. And so to me, like, I'm not worried about the shot. For me, not like needing to draft him in the first is, when I saw him live, it was like, what is he like as a leader? That's not there. What is he like as a guy who can, play like 0.5 NBA basketball? He's not there. What is he like as a guy that is going to be able to take what the defense gives him? And when they load up on his shooting because they know he wants to get to a shot, is he going to be able to make plays for his teammates? That wasn't there. Does that mean it's not going to be there 4 or 5 years down the line? Of course not. And I think it's important for him to go to a spot where he's going to get the coaching that brings the best out of him, because I think he is a easy lottery talent. It's just, if the everything outside of the skills doesn't catch up to how skills he is, he's going to be a guy that is just just like unbelievably frustrating to a fan base, and is going to bounce around a lot, and he's going to get a reputation of just a guy who's looking to get his own. But I also think that he can be immensely helpful to a team under the right circumstance. So that's, to me, the McGowan's kind of tipping point. Like, where is he going to go that's going to balance him out?
And for what it's worth, like, for everyone watching us and that hasn't seen it, ESPN just had their updated mock draft right after the lottery. McGowan's went 29th. Like,
there it is.
So it's not that crazy that we had him just missing the first round. Like, it could happen. All it takes is one team to just swing for the fences. And McGowan's is going to have as much upside as a lot of these wings in this class. But I'm like Corey, I just think you got to go somewhere that he can be coached, that can be patient, that's the type where you need front office stability, to where if he doesn't click, they're still going to be having a job. Because if someone doesn't really have that security of almost, having a contract extension as a GM, they might be like, I don't want to roll the dice on, I don't want this guy to be what gets me fired. I want to get to my next contract. So,
and also, just to piggyback off of what you guys are saying, like, I actually thought of McGowan's at 30th for the Thunder, but they already have Trey Mann, so that kind of pushed me away. And I went with Wendell Moore because I thought Wendell Moore will offer a little bit more defensively, more versatility, more, like I said, like more of an adult in the room. But he's 100% worthy of this first round discussion. So I'm with you guys.
I was really close to him at 22 with Milwaukee. I think he provides some of that, shot creation and offensive spark plug that they are really missing off the bench. So I do think there are a lot of places where he makes a lot of sense. It's just, what he does in an empty gym, like Corey was saying, is incredible and incredibly tantalizing, but it's how is he going to implement it into a live game? How is he going to make those reads? And then, we didn't talk about the defense at all, and it's a work in progress, let's say.
Safe
all right, Albert.
For the Mavs.
Ronald Sergio from the YouTube chat wants to know, who was your safe pick for the Mavs? You picked the spicy one and Peyton Watson. Who was your safe pick for the Mavs?
No, I was thinking of Christian Brown at that pick. I thought that was kind of the safe pick there.
See, I like that.
Yeah. That's why I was kind of like, oh, who do you guys want to go with? And I was like, oh, let's go spicy, whatever. But yeah, I think Brown would be a great fit there. So I was thinking Brown there.
Brown and Luka would be fine. That's a nice mentality on the court together.
Feisty.
Yeah.
Who's the Caleb Houston promise team? I'm not reporting anything. Everyone listening, I'm not reporting anything. We don't do that around here. I'm spicy.
Pure speculation.
Pure speculation.
It's Pistons at 5.
OKC at 30.
OKC at 30.
You're not dropping out of combine for a promise at 30.
There's no way. Unless he's really worried about the
Who is it?
But what about a promise at 27 to Miami?
What about a promise at 20 to the Spurs?
I think you got to get a promise in like the 16 to 20 range.
Right.
You have to, or else if I get a promise at the end of the third, I'm like, bet, I'm going for it. I'm playing.
Hornets.
How much salesmanship do you think Juwan Howard potentially did with his connections and history with the Heat, though?
That's a good one.
I'm sure. I'm sure he's doing his thing.
Wizards at 10.
Can we leave the Wizards out of this? Okay, come on. We've been giving them a tough time for a while. We need to stop it.
You talk about a
Wizards fan in the
Jawan,
chat, man.
a Jawan connection. It's got to be the Wizards. So
That's the Bullets, right?
Yeah.
Milwaukee Bucks at 24.
So then the other surprising name that came out recently was Max Christie saying that he's 1,000% staying in. Are we surprised by that? I have him as a top 20 guy, so I'm not necessarily, but we keep seeing him mocked in the 40s. So do we think he's a guy who got a promise or is just very confident in his ability to go kill workouts?
I really
think
want
he's
it to be the confidence. Sorry, Corey, go ahead. Sorry.
No, samesies. You owe me a Coke.
Okay.
I think it's the confidence. I don't see a promise, but I've been more on your side, Metcalf. I started dropping him towards the back end of my first round just because it was a little up in the air of whether or not I thought he was going to stay in or not.
Yeah.
But he's definitely a guy. Like if the Bulls, as a Bulls fan, if Chicago took him at 18, I'd be like,
yeah,
fuck yeah. Like, let's go. Like, I love that. Knowing that it's probably not going to pay off right away for a team that probably wants a guy who can pay off, like, you know, Io DeSumo, the heir apparent to the number 12 worn by Kirk Heinrich. So I think that he's going to go in and into these workouts, into these interviews, like measure out, test well, and just be like, there's not 25 guys in this draft that should be taken ahead of me. And I think he's probably right.
I think Christie's another good option for the Mavs at 26. You talk about the shooting and the length and the mid-range game with him. I could totally see it. I still have him 29th on my board too, so I'm right there with you, Corey, for sure. But maybe it's a confidence thing, maybe it's a promise thing. I don't know, but I could easily see any of these teams in the 20s grabbing him. It would be not a problem at all.
All right. Any other burning thoughts that you guys want to kind of get off your chest here?
Where's everyone at with Terquavion Smith? I haven't talked to you guys about him.
Migraines.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to that too.
Migraines, because he's a kid that he's got some of the most fun like space creation, shot making.
Mm-hmm.
I love his tools. Yes,
like looking in even in the top 10, like you can't really make an argument for almost anybody as like a space creating, off the bounce shot maker over him. But he's 150 pounds and
I mean, that's the frame we should be talking about, not Chet's.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
The finishing is not anywhere where it needs to be. And if you're just going to be this like chucker, then in the NBA, you better hit 40% of them because like that's going to be your only avenue to score. I think like I don't first, and some of the playmaking stuff is fun. And, but I also like how early on is he going to get the keys to go driving with the ball in his hands in an NBA team. So ultimately, I think that he's a guy that is probably going to be like, a super spicy 6-man outside chance. Maybe he develops his body down the line and he goes on a Jordan Poole type run. But I think it's his more likely outcome is like, he's just kind of like, maybe he wins 6-man of the year one year, and that's valuable, and that's, you can argue, is worth a lottery pick because I've made that argument.
So the only reason the weight for him bothers me is because it changes how he attacks the rim. And when I was talking earlier about Bryce McGowan's initiating contact, then going through contact and drawing fouls, Terquavion didn't do that at all. He actively avoided contact and wildly altered his shots at the rim to make sure that he wasn't getting hit. And if you're doing that, I I'm confident in an NBA team adding muscle and strength, but I'm a little more concerned when we have to talk about changing a guy's approach and mindset, especially attacking the rim and, attacking guys who have 100 pounds on them. Rucker, where are you at?
I watch him. I get really excited about the creation, the stuff he can do off the dribble, because he has some bounce. He has the ability to light it up from deep. But being that skinny and being a guard or a wing and not having the desire to get to the basket, because it's just like what you said, Metcalf. Like, at least with McGowan's, he is hunting the rim. He's hunting the ability to get to the free throw line. With Smith, it's just like, man, you have to do a complete overhaul of the mindset, like you're talking about. Like, we talk about Chet. Everyone talks about how Chet Holmgren's so skinny, but Chet bullies. He battles down low. He understands he's going up against bigger guys. So it's tough to just all of a sudden flip that switch with the mentality. One skinny is super skinny for a wing. Like, just ugh. So I don't know. He's really fascinating. I'm right there with Corey. I think like the Jordan Poole idea is probably his dream, or a dream for him, but I don't know. I know I've seen some people have him in the first round, and I'm not there. I think he would be like an early second round guy to me, maybe towards like the 40s.
So I'm really with you guys and what you guys are saying. My only question with him and his frame, like obviously he's really skinny. Is it the shoulders that concern you, or what is it exactly? Because I'm not disagreeing. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly about his frame that you guys are trying to. Yeah,
he just looks super thin everywhere on tape to me. But I don't know. Where are you at, Corey Metcalf? I don't know. It just
he looks like when there's like somebody's younger brother playing in the pickup game.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's a good
That's
analogy.
fair. That's fair.
No,
because when you watch him play, my biggest thing with him is like, you guys talk about the physicality and all that stuff, and I'm there with you. But also, like, when he was put under pressure, some of his decision making was truly like WTF. Like, he threw some really just like the decisions that he was making. I was like, what the hell is going on here? So I think for me, that's why he's like rock solid second round guy for me. Just because you talk about the frame, that's there. Decision making, that's there. The shooting, I get it. Like, I think it's a pretty looking form and stuff like that. But you guys mentioned it. When he attacks the rim, he's literally always going like sideways and away from contact. And that's why he got destroyed on a lot of his shots. Like, a lot of these highlight blocks were coming on his attempts at the rim. So I'm 100% with you guys on that.
Overreaction, Terquavion Smith or Blake Wesley? Go.
Wesley.
I think that's the hardest question we got all night.
Yes. Here we go.
Overtime. I'm
Wow.
rocking.
No, I'm trying to wrap it
man.
up, but I'm trying to end it on a funny note.
Okay, no, I'll go Wesley. Obviously, I've been a big detractor of Wesley, but I like his frame better. I think defensively too, he showed so much defensively. There's a lot to like there. Even with the creation stuff, the separation stuff, I actually prefer Wesley over Terquavion. And I think Wesley's frame will fill out better than his as well. So I'll go Wesley.
I'm trying to see where I have you. I have Terquavion above Wesley on my board right now.
Wow. I did too.
Wow.
I did too, and I don't know what I
How
would
about
do.
this? Terquavion, to me, the shot making is a tremendous advantage because Blake Wesley is not an NBA player if
It's a good point.
he can't make shots.
That's fair.
He's not an NBA player.
Blake Wesley's going to go to the lottery, and everyone's going to play this back, but I would still go with Smith.
So here's my my Blake Wesley fear, and if he goes too high, it feels like I'm not talking about location here.
Oh my God.
No, it feels a little like Jarrett Culver-y, where it's like you're looking at this long ball handler who has a questionable shot, but you really like all the tools, and then like no.
DeLon Wright.
I just it just it's hard. Now, if you get that value late in the draft, I get the swing, but like you got to have some job security if you're taking Blake Wesley in the lottery.
I agree, and that's the buzz that's going around, is that he's getting a lot of lottery love, and
I hate it.
Yeah,
I
hate it.
But I'm trying to figure out who it is. Like, who is it? Is it
Well,
if it's Charlotte?
whoever it is,
I'm gonna
I hate
hug.
them.
If it's Charlotte, I'm gonna hug every Hornets
It
fan
can't.
I ever meet. No, it
Oh
can't
my
be.
God.
You just
So-
drafted Book Night. Just
I know.
let that kid develop if you're gonna go for
So
like
who-
a question mark.
Is it New
Who
York?
else is
Actively.
it? Is it New York?
How dare you? How dare you? We've gone too long now. We've reached our limit, boys.
Someone pulled the plug.
Everyone
I
off.
just- I'm just saying. All right, we were talking about how they needed shot creating wings and scoring wings.
No,
It's
they
not
want
the
the ball in
Wizards.
RJ's.
Leave 'em
They
out of
want
it.
the ball in RJ's hands. They want the ball in RJ's hands. more.
Metcalf, we're friends. What is that?
But I'm
friends.
let's
I'm just
being
looking at
serious.
teams. I'm just looking at teams here.
I get
Okay.
it. I get
We've
Rucker,
heard
we gotta talk to
What?
some people and try to get some intel on this.
I know.
first
I
look.
mean, that from the brief dive I've done, we've been hearing that there's a lot of buzz about lottery Blake Wesley. So I'm trying to say, who is it? We're throwing random dots at a board right now. I'm saying, who do we think is the Blake Wesley buyer? Please
it's
don't say
easy
the
to say
Wizards.
OKC because they have multiple shots.
I
to-
hate
to
that
take.
so
They
much
got,
for
you know,
them.
in the chamber. I hate it too. It makes zero sense.
It's disgusting.
I don't think there's a guard on that roster that he would get minutes over.
Yeah, it's wicked. It's a wicked pick.
I'm trying to look at this list and say, like, who makes 10% chance or sense, and it
Like
doesn't.
if you're Cleveland, like you already have Karis LeVert, and that's what you hope that Blake
Oh,
Wesley is.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I don't know.
Pelicans.
Process of elimination is the Wizards because
Is
know
it
the
the
wild card
Pelicans?
bitches.
I'm
Albert,
seeing him
is
mock to
Albert
the
right?
Timberwolves.
Is it the Pelicans? Is Albert?
Yuck. Yuck. Yuck.
And I'm rooting for Blake Wesley. It's everyone listening. It's not like we're rooting against the kid. I just
Oh,
don't
yeah.
see it. I just
Metcalf
If he
is
went
rooting
to-
against them pretty heavily.
no.
If we're gonna be honest with
maybe,
ourselves.
maybe. If Wesley went 20 to 30, fine. Someone's believing in and taking a swing. I completely get
definitely not.
that.
Dude,
But if
guys,
he's in the lottery, I'm just like,
the absolute 1% best outcome of Blake Wesley's career starts with him getting taken in the second round. It's that easy. It's that easy.
he could go to Memphis, couldn't he?
He could. He could.
He could.
They got 2 shots at it too. I don't see like that's a spot I don't hate it for.
I don't hate it there because it makes sense.
because
It's
that's,
like you ain't starting.
but that's that's what you would argue they need because as fantastic as Bane is, he's not like a let me go get a bucket possession after possession guy. He's a flow of the offense, like make the right play guy. Like they almost need one of these let me go get a bucket guys that is not Dylan Brooks anymore. So I don't know, maybe they hope that turns out to be Blake Wesley. I don't know.
Milwaukee?
It's tough.
Well, in our comments,
yeah, I like what
Caesar's
Caesar
saying
had.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Caesar, I like that too. Thank you for your comments. This is I love you.
We like Caesar. We like Caesar.
Yeah, Caesar's a good guy. Atlanta, shout out Simon. I hope it doesn't happen for him.
Hey,
No, he
Simon
wants-
likes him, right?
Simon
likes
loves
him.
Wesley.
Yeah.
He's been freaking out on Wesley the last couple of weeks, so could be a good fit there.
He can have
You let Trey play off the ball a little bit, let
Mhm.
Wesley cook with the
Because
ball in
he's
his
been
hands,
super
make some
eager to
plays.
do that.
Which one?
Trey playing off ball.
Boom!
Which one?
We talk about Jovic and then we can wrap this up if you guys want, or else I can just talk all night.
Yeah, no, I think Jovic is the good ending point. And Rucker, you and I kind of talked about it the other day or the other week.
I just want to
don't
hear
get
what
it.
Corey and Albert think.
Yeah,
But
I
we-
just don't get it. So,
What is Jovic's ceiling? Are we talking about like Nemanja Bjelica? What's the ceiling here, guys?
I'm
How do
really
you guys
proud
feel?
at how easily
Mario
you just
Hezonja?
rolled that out.
I'm an international
Mario.
dude, bro.
I love
Mario Hezonja.
Super Mario. I love them as a prospect.
That's fun.
I was just like, I'm in. A white guy that dunks from Europe. Let's party.
Well, much
Before
like
I
Kendall
was
Brown,
evaluating folks.
much like Kendall Brown, I think I was the first one who was like, I'm going to drop this guy down my board a little bit because I don't get it. And the way I look at it is like, all right, he's 6'10", and I think everyone's like, oh, 6'10", can make shots and can play with the ball in his hands a little bit. And I'm like, oh man, the 6'10" thing to me is a major red flag right away, because I would much prefer him to be like 6'5", 6'6", instead of 6'10", to where now he's got to, like, he has to play the 4 and guard Paul George and Kawhi. That sucks. That's a pass for me. I don't want that. I don't want him guarding I don't want him guarding Jason Tatum. And all right, if he's not guarding Jason Tatum, who's he guarding on the Celtics now? Like, where are you putting him? Right. So to me, he can't guard smaller guys. He absolutely cannot do that. Like, I don't want to see a 1 possession clip. Like, he consistently has shown he cannot stay with guys that are quicker than him this season. So I'm massively turned off by his lack of scheme versatility. He's not a good shooter. And I think that's his selling point, and he's not a good one. And I don't think that he has like excellent form either. I think it's a lot of snake biting. It's quick trigger, inconsistent footwork. Can he turn into a decent shooter? Sure. It's not completely unbroken, but it's certainly not, to me, a plus. His shot selection's not good. And like, to me, the only positive part of his game is that he can make some fun reads out of a pick and roll, which is something that he's probably not going to do a ton of at the next level. Maybe he comes off some DHOs on the weak side and gets the ball and gets downhill a little bit, and he can do that. But he doesn't have the pull-up game in the mid-range to kind of make teams pay in those scenarios. He absolutely cannot attack the basket. He cannot go left. So I'm just a little underwhelmed by the Jovic package. And I think it's one of those things where, like, he came a lot of casual draft fans are not necessarily watching mega games. They're hard to find, and it's not in your face like college games are. Even the G League, it's more inaccessible than that. So there's a little of that. And then there was like a little bit of he had a good FIBA tournament. So people still have like, oh, he played pretty good in FIBA. So it's like, haven't seen a ton, played well in FIBA, maybe saw some like step back clips. It feels very Killian Hayes to me, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I did all that. Go ahead, Metcalf.
Yeah. And I just feel like everyone's like, oh, he's this mismatch nightmare. And I think that's just all theoretical, because he doesn't have the strength to back down guards. And there were like 4 straight games that I watched where he tried to back down a point guard and couldn't move the guy. And then he doesn't have the speed to beat bigger guys off the dribble. I keep seeing him comp to Peja, and I think that's absolutely ludicrous and a complete disservice to how good of a shooter Peja was.
Those are people who didn't watch Prime Peja.
Yeah, that dude was a sniper.
He was a monster.
He was an MVP candidate one year.
Peja was monster. He was not just a shooter. He was a monster.
Yeah, so
passing.
I don't get it. So I'm right there with you, Corey. I think the idea of him is interesting, but I think the theory and reality are so far apart from each other.
Like, I know I started off as kind of like a joke, but I think that's why I said Bjelica or San Ilyasova. Like, what are people expecting out of Jovic? I think Peja is crazy to me.
Yeah, and
he was getting Tatum comps in the summer.
Nah, dude, come on, wake up, people. What are we watching? What sport are you guys watching?
No, he's gonna have to put on a ton
Mark
of weight.
Tatum.
And
come on, dude. What?
I like Jovic. I just think I think Metcalf's spot on, and I think this is a popular thing that happens every draft cycle around this time of the year. Is we get fascinated with the idea of guys, not what they really are. And we're not saying all these guys that get drafted like that's who they're going to be as players. These guys are still developing, but I just think Jovic, he's got a long way to go, and the first step still drives me insane. I just watched this film. I've watched him again. Like, he's the one guy I want to all of a sudden just have a moment where I'm like, yes, there it is. I'm in, but I can't do it. And I just keep finding myself like, ugh, I might move him down a spot. Because it's just, I'm like Corey. He's 6'10", but I wish he was shorter because his first step is like a guard's first step. It does not match his frame. It is short, strided. He can't get anywhere off the bounce. So then he has to come back to this step back that everyone's falling in love with. And I get what Corey's saying, that the Killian Hayes vibes really hits me. And I don't know. I just think some people are drooling too much. Go ahead, Albert.
No, I was just going to say, I know we're wrapping up, and it looks like we have people in the comments joining us now. I was wondering, Metcalf, if you could do like a recap of all the picks for the people who missed out.
Sure. All right. At number 1, Magic went with Chet, then Thunder with Jabari. At 3, Houston Rockets went Paolo Banchero. At 4, Sacramento Kings went Keegan Murray. 5, Detroit Pistons went Jaden Ivey. 6, Indiana Pacers went Shaedon Sharpe. 7, the Portland Trail Blazers went Johnny Davis. Pelicans at 8 with AJ Griffin. Spurs at 9 with Ousmane Dieng. Wizards at 10 with Dyson Daniels. Knicks at 11 with Benedict Mathurin. Thunder at 12 with Jalen Duren. Hornets at 13 with Malachi Branham. Cavs at 14 with Igbaji. Hornets at 15 with Mark Williams. Hawks at 16 with Jeremy Sohan. Right? Yes.
Nailed it.
Rockets at 17 with Patrick Baldwin Jr. Bulls at 18 with EJ Liddell. Timberwolves at 19 with Tari Eason. Spurs at 20, Christian Coloco. Nuggets at 21, Jalen Williams. Grizzlies at 22, Dalen Terry. Nets at 23, Marjan Beauchamp. Bucks at 24, Gabriel Procida. Spurs at 25, Jake LaRavia. Mavs at 26, Peyton Watson. Heat at 27, Ryan Rollins. Warriors at 28, Christian Brown. Grizzlies at 29, Jaden Hardy. And Thunder at 30 with Wendell Moore. Boom. Cool.
Boom.
I think that's as good a place to end this. We're almost at 2.5 hours. So, Corey, please plug away. Tell the people where they can find you, where they can support you.
At Corey Tulaba on Twitter, NBA Draft Dude on YouTube, the Draft Deck NBA Draft Podcast, as well as all written work at NoCeilingsNBA.com. Thank you, everybody in the chat, everybody listening on the podcast, for tuning in and rocking with us for 2.5 hours tonight. I hope that all of your draft dreams came true tonight. For some of you, I know that to be the case. For others, hold the course. There's players to be got. So,
Albert, tell the people where they can find you.
You could find me at Alberto Gim. I am the other half of the Draft Deck NBA podcast. Before we go, really quickly, just want to give a special shout out once again to my wife in Korea. Shouts to Josh Spice, one of our favorites.
shout out, Josh.
Shouts to my homies from NLVC, Tony Tones, Brian, Andrew, Finns, all of you guys. And then, of course, my boy Sam on the East Coast, Beast Coast. So appreciate all you guys for tuning in today.
Rucker, plug away.
I'm at Backcourt V, and most importantly, I'm at NoCeilingsNBA.com. I want to give a special shout out as well to our own Stephen Gillespie.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
Steven,
hell yeah.
Going back to the military. Thank you for your service, Stephen, and we're proud to have you part of the family. And we're looking forward to getting you back and back on the grind, baby. But stay safe, and we love you. And thanks for everything you do.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for your service.
Absolutely. Once again, I'm Tyler Metcalf. You can follow me on Twitter at TeamMetcalf11, and you can find all of our written work at NoCeilingsNBA.com. While you're there checking out our articles, feel free to hit that subscribe button to get those articles delivered directly to your inbox. It's 100% free. I dare you to find an excuse not to hit that subscribe button.
Dare you.
Oof. Challenge. You can follow us on Twitter at NoCeilingsNBA. You can follow us on YouTube as you're watching us at No Ceilings TV. Please make sure to subscribe. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and a 5-star rating. Until next time, see ya.